give me yours. I want you to embrace me. So come closer and take me somewhere. I'm here in the dark. You are the one to save me. So come closer and take me somewhere. I'm here in the dark. You are the one to save me.
Tried all the ways to feel alive, but except for you, everything's now empty. If you ask me for the same I'll die. You don't want from me, but like me is plenty. 'Cause without you I don't feel alone. All I do is just for you. Without you, I don't feel alone.
Go crazy, I'm just living on my own and I'll go crazy, crazy for your love. Go crazy, I'll go crazy for your love right now. Go crazy, yeah, go crazy, I'll go crazy, crazy for your love. Go crazy, yeah, go finding time to let myself shine out when the air is thin and I can't leave you right now. Go crazy, cause that's what they've been telling me. Oh, go crazy, go crazy, go crazy, crazy for your love. Go crazy, yeah, go
I want you to put your hands together.
Goes to the neighborhood. Goes to the neighborhood.
And welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause.
There goes to the neighborhood.
Welcome back to the SmokeScreen Podcast. Welcome. Hello, can you hear us now?
Hello.
Let's see.
Can you hear us?
Testes. Are we too loud? Maybe a little too loud. Maybe we're good. Let us know if you can hear us, and if the chat's working. Are we working? We should be on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
That's cool.
Or X, whatever the fuck they call it. Hello, everybody. There they are. I see some things come in. Who we got over here? Let's see. Mazuma.
What's happening?
He's on Twitch.
I owe him an apology.
Uh-oh.
He reached out to me the other day, and I was swamped. And then I came in and freaking fell out.
in your chair.
Always. I am so sorry, Mazuma.
He's on. Yeah, we're on both. Zoomer. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. So all three. What's up, Mander Stewart, Melly Fisher? 50 fucking years, man.
Yes.
Marty?
Chris and Jaws are 50.
Chris and Jaws are 50.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I look every bit of it. This soap still won't come out. It's some weird dry shit. Anyway, what was that? Abish, hello. Let's see. Monica, there's Monica. Had a good, loving career. Everyone in the rooms has already hit the like. We show our love. Thank you, Monica. Sunny
That's
Skies, Killmonger. What's up? Thank you. Is that Jen Gauss? Jen Gauss. Thank you. There's Lady Jen. She is taking a break from Elden Ring.
Feels like shitting in the sink.
Shitting in the sink is from a game.
Oh.
We used to yell this out during, what's the game? God, I forgot the game. Mazuma, remind me. Phasmophobia. There we go. You would love that game. It's a ghost game.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would. You go in with your, it's a multiplayer, and you go in these houses where the ghost, and you take your tools like the meters and the different stuff.
I have played that.
We played that a lot. Yeah.
Oh my God, that scared the crap
And so you're
out of
supposed to
me.
yell out something to get them to come out, and we'd always say shit in the sink because you're waiting for something, the water to be in something in the sink. I can't remember. So anyway, Miss Sheila, thank you, Mander. What's up, Lord Kiv?
What's happening?
There's Nata. So yeah, I text James and said, "Hey, what we talking about?" He's like Jaws, because that's one of his. I don't know, is it favorite or worst? That is, or kind of both.
Yeah, it's just life changing.
It is.
Yep. And I was like, I think it's so cool that you and Jaws are turned 50 on almost the same day.
Yeah.
So I said, man, let's combine it and talk about it. And if you remember, I was typing on our website.
Yeah.
And then got caught up in work and busted my ass and never finished. So I was like, shit, this goes right hand in hand with that.
The latest blog
the blog.
Yeah.
And so I'm dying. I've been dying to talk about sharks anyway. And I love Jaws. And I love you.
He's it's a very odd relationship you have with sharks in the ocean, and he's deathly afraid, but he wants to watch shark movies.
Yes.
We watched like 47 meters down.
Dude,
back in the day.
Jumped out of the damn chair.
Anyway, Mazuma, dirty water in the sink. That was worth points. So if you kept going to the bathroom and looking for water in the sink, you go back to the kitchen, these rooms, and you get cold, and you have to hide in a closet or the ghost could kill you, or you could get up on like the counters and kind of a cheat thing.
Now, is that the game where you walked outside, you had a trailer outside?
You had a truck, yep.
Yeah, and that's the one. I played that for about 10 minutes.
We streamed it quite a bit.
That was terrifying.
But it got old because it was the same it was like you had to choose, like you had to figure out the type of ghost, poltergeist or whatever, with the clues that you found. Mm-hmm. And it kind of got, after about, 30 games, it was about the same thing over and over and over.
So the other day, this guy had to come drop something off a trailer at my house at work. So I brought him in, gave him a little tour. And when in my bedroom, those little wedges that you put under the edge of a door.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I have one on the outside of my closet. And I said, that's for ghosts, man.
Oh, my
I said, I couldn't sleep in this bed without, the thought of that damn closet door opening up. And so
Christ.
I didn't think anything else about it. So I'm sitting there that night. Dixie, my dog, starts barking randomly and looking over my shoulder.
Oh, well.
And like kept doing this. She's like looking like behind me and kept moving like something was moving behind me.
And she don't bark a lot, right? You
At
said-
all.
Oh, okay.
And
so yeah, that's different.
she was nervous and trembling. And I said, into my mind, I was thinking, did I fuck up by saying the out loud that wedge is for ghosts?
Right.
And the fucking ghost heard me and was like, oh, okay, motherfucker.
What was it? What did it end up being?
I don't know.
Nothing?
I went in my room later and my fucking TV was on in my bedroom too. That was really weird.
Oh, shit. Thank you. Oh, Amanda. Yeah, it was awesome. Metallica. I got a story for y'all. I've told this on Twitch and I told James. I got a good story for the Metallica concert. The concert itself was awesome. Yeah, I got a good story I'll tell you, I guess. I don't care, It involves buckets and James has one too. He told it in his podcast series we did a while back on addiction, and now I got a story like that.
We formed a team.
We did. So I'll tell that in a second, just for a quick laugh. Let's see. But yeah, I did, for people ask, Amanda's referring to, I went to Metallica. I've never been to but one concert. I've seen live music and all that, but like concert. I took my daughter to see Miley Cyrus as a kid, but I never went and saw my favorite metal band ever, and they came to Charlotte for I don't know how they come to Charlotte once every 20 years or something.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck it, it's a bucket list thing, and went to Metallica. So it was awesome, though. It was cool.
Yeah, the videos you showed me.
Yeah, I'll show you even more. I got like a
incredible.
shit ton of little clips. I posted a couple on Instagram. Thank you, Miss Sheila. Signal, thank you.
Mazuma.
But Jaws, I was going to say. Killmonger, thank
Dixie
you.
Normus.
Here we go. Killmonger's asking about Dixie Norman. Jesus Christ. Killmonger's asking, we've talked about this before, Killmonger. Quick question. Do you believe in Bigfoot and Dogman? No and no. I used to watch all the Bigfoot shows, and we've talked about it on podcasts. We've had a podcast, probably a couple, about it, because I think we did maybe with Ozzy Man Reviews.
Yep.
We talked about Bigfoot when he came on our podcast years ago, our old podcast.
I want to believe so bad.
Yeah, you do, but there's just no.
It's just lack of evidence.
It's just lack of evidence. There's no bones. There's no nothing.
There's plenty stories that are credible. Like we've like on our podcast we talked about. I believe the people believe that, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, there's just no evidence of it, and we all know. Like they still go over the Patterson film, right? The guy. But the guy's already came out, and I believe it 100%. The dude in the suit admitted it, and he walks. I can't remember his name. I have to look that up again. But I've seen there's a documentary or something, and you can see the dude walking, and it's exactly the same gait and everything. The long arms. He was a big dude.
Yeah,
that did that for them. Anyway,
if it wasn't him, he is related to Bigfoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have y'all been overran with the Bigfoot AI videos?
Star Wars. The Star Wars
weird.
are my favorite. The Stormtroopers.
Same concept.
Yes, yeah. I've seen the Bigfoot ones, Sasquatch, and then
dude,
with the
I'm
Yeti.
overran with them.
Those.
And he's got the stick, with the string stick or whatever,
exactly.
Selfie stick,
and then the Stormtroopers, and there are a couple other ones floating around. That's a good idea.
It is so funny.
Anyway, so Jaws. I will say it is a pretty big deal because it changed culture.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I don't think Spielberg ever intended that. It was just supposed to be kind of a scary, don't go in the water, but it literally makes you change your thinking about the water every single time you go.
Yes.
So I've been to the beach 1 billion times. I go swimming in the ocean. I've been in 1 billion times, but every time you go, you think about that fucking movie every time.
And that music.
Mm-hmm.
John Williams.
Oh, I watched Spaceballs the other night.
Oh, hell
Because they're making a Spaceballs too.
Yes.
So we put it on like the first half, and I, shut it off eventually, went to bed. But, when that ship comes across and they're playing Jaws, doo-doom, doo-doom, that ship just never stops.
I believe that the term blockbuster was coined because of Jaws. I think it was the first summer blockbuster anyway. And
probably
it was a disaster to make, and Spielberg's lucky as hell. And you think about the butterfly effect of how lucky we are as an audience that everything worked out okay. And his vision and him being able to improvise all the breakdowns of the shark, and then going, well, fuck it, I won't show the shark much, and I'll use this suspense, build the suspense. And it just worked so perfectly. And then remember right after that, there were so many like knockoff movies that. And I don't know, man. For me, I was the kid who, and I've talked about it on our podcast and maybe on some of our live streams with Game of Thrones when I would go on my side stories. And, I didn't have a shower growing up, so we had to take baths.
Yeah.
And I would be scared in the freaking bathtub sometimes. Not like scared to get in.
Yeah.
I was just like any other kid. I loved getting my toys and getting in the bathtub and playing. But there would be times where, you're laying there so long that the water's cold and your eyes are closed and you're in the water. And you're like, I don't know. I could just...
I thought
moments of anxiety.
I thought more about Freddy Krueger.
So, yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people were scared of showering because of The Shining.
Yeah, that shit, and then Psycho and all that stuff.
And then I felt really good when I got older, and the internet. You find out that there were a lot of people across the country, and around the world who were terrified. There was some woman who wrote Peter Benchley, and said that she was afraid that a shark was following her down the street, like it fucked with her so bad. So
damn, down the street.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It absolutely changed the way you think about it. And I was going to mention really quick. Somebody mentioned the theme. I think it was Mander said the Jaws theme. John Williams has got to be either the luckiest motherfucker ever or just the greatest composer ever.
Yeah.
He has done every single major thing in pop culture that you can possibly imagine, from Superman to Marvel to Jaws to Star Wars. It's unbelievable. Every Raiders of any music that you recognize from a movie, he did it. Every single one. It's not like
it's wild.
He had 3 or 4. Yeah. It's like all of them. All the big giant hits is John Williams. Just quick shout out to John Williams. Yes, and it never. I can sit there and hum you Jaws or Superman or Star Wars or any of that stuff or Marvel.
And the other big movies that he didn't do, trust and believe, he was asked first.
100%,
and was too busy.
100%, absolutely. What's up, Diane Harris? Lady Jen, thank you. I did. Natasha said Spaceballs. I did because Spaceballs 2 is coming out. Mel Brooks is 98 years old and still going to play yogurt. I believe he's 98. He's close to 100.
He is very close.
So absolutely insane. That's finally coming back. The Ring, Melly Fisher said. Yep, that was. I like The Ring.
That one was scary.
It was. And we have Sadako and DBD, so we have her as a killer. And but the end of The Ring was always one of those things. It was kind of a new thing for horror. The bad people won, kind of, sort of. I won't say anything in case somebody hadn't seen it, but not really won, I wouldn't say, but you know what I mean. It's like she thought there was a way to save this girl, but whatever. I won't go in. I don't want to spoil it. I won't say more.
Did you go to the lake much when you were a kid?
Yeah. Happy's Lake, and then bathing, fishing, and boating, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Anytime I was out on one of those inflatable rafts,
Oh yeah,
and you're out over your head and stuff.
But yeah, that and Friday the 13th.
Sharks. I knew there was no great white in the freshwater lake,
right?
But I would get those images of that little boy on the raft, and you know,
and the same way Friday the 13th did for lakes. You know?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were out there last week camping, and we were out there fishing at night and down at the pier, and it's like that's just one of those movies that changes everything about how you think of it. You don't, it's not real and all that stuff, but it comes to your head every time you go to a lake or, like in this case, the ocean. So it is pretty damn crazy how a movie or whatever will change culture. There's nobody that hasn't heard that theme. You know what I mean? Even if they don't know what the movie may be, maybe they're younger or whatever.
Right.
Now, Jaws got dumb. You know.
It did.
They got dumb when it started getting to like the sharks chasing their family. Jaws like 5, I think it was. Then you had Jaws 3D. That was the big thing back then, was 3D.
Yeah.
And
it's unwatchable.
Yes, unless you're watching
it in 3D.
Yeah, exactly.
And still cheesy, but
excuse me.
The first movie, which I liked the second one as well. I really did, and it did great at the box office. I think it was the number 2 movie the year it came out. Maybe number 3. Because now I'm thinking, I think it came.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I remember Jaws 3D, and then I don't remember which one it got kind of stupid.
If I remember right, I can't remember. But yeah, dude, the teenagers out there, and they were on the catamaran. Remember that?
The big yellow thing?
They're like a sail with the 2 pontoon looking things and the canvas over top.
Yeah.
And then my dumb ass, when I'm 18, I'm at the beach for graduation.
Yep.
And this guy he's like, hey, I'll give you guys a deal, man. I'll take you out. And so me and Chris went, Chris Reese, and it was just me and him and this captain, whatever you want to call it, on this little thing. He takes us 2 miles out and says, okay, you guys can jump in and swim if you want to. I said, hell no, I saw Jaws 2. I'm scared to be on this thing as it is.
Right.
But I could not wait to get back into shore. I was terrified the whole time.
Yeah. I don't know if I would jump in the middle of the ocean and go swimming. I mean, I'll take the little shallow and get wet and cool off, but I just like body surfing. That's all I really ever did. But I mostly try to surf fish.
I'll be the first to admit that, yes, the shark itself looks fake. Like, that's not the part that scares me. It's the fact that I know there are 20-foot great whites out there, and you know what? Sometimes they devour people.
Yep, that's true. And that's the thing, when you're at the beach swimming around in shallow areas, there's still small sharks all around you that get at times. You just don't see them. So, but yeah, it's there. It's always a possibility. I mean, there's a reason, shark attacks are a big deal. And you've seen some surfing accidents. You've seen these surfing contests, or I guess tournaments, I guess they are. And I've seen a couple clips of those. They're rushing out in the jet skis, and there's blood already in the fucking water. It's bad. And then what was the guy? We talked about that before. The guy that was the marine biologist guy, kind of like what's his name that died? But like what was his name?
You talking about Hooper in the movie?
No, the guy gets his calf bit off by a bull shark in shallow water.
Real dude, yes.
They're standing out there filming something like an idiot. Like, what are you doing?
Yes, with bull sharks.
With bull sharks,
known to do that.
Known aggressive bastards. So I don't get it. It's people push that shit way too far. Like Grizzly Man. Mel Brooks is a genius. Yeah, I love old slapstick comedy. Actual, I'm glad it's coming back.
Yes. Puns and things like that.
Lady Jen, June 9th. Oh, well, happy belated birthday, Lady Jen, then. I'm 18th, right. So it was a few days ago, but we live stream on Sunday, so. What's up, O'Hara Young? Welcome back. Farmer's tan looking good, James, says Mender. James has been out in the field.
Dude.
We both got the farmer's tan.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Where somebody just said yogurt. Dancing with Wolves, favorite. Darkness Falls was creepy. Never saw that one, I don't think.
Somebody mentioned, Lucis. James probably heard ghosts in the television, white noise after watching Poltergeist.
I did.
That was scary.
Dude, I was in 3rd grade. Dude.
After watching that.
You can ask my mom about Poltergeist. I tried to sneak in her bed for fucking months.
That was a scary one, man.
On the TV. And that's the thing, for me anyway, if you see a snowy TV, which you don't really anymore, but back in the day when we still had signal and you got that snow, you thought about that movie. I did. I know I did. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Yes, I am going to be a pawpaw in October. We talked about that last time. So that is coming soon. I can't wait for that. It's going to be fun. Send him home spoiled as hell. Claws, says Diane Harris, about a bear that was shot but ran away, went mad, started killing people. Oh,
yeah, giant grizzly.
In a sleeping bag, yes.
Dude.
That's like what was it, Bears on Cocaine or whatever the fuck that movie was.
Dude, yeah, that was fun. I love that movie.
Miss Sheila, thank you for the super chat. Thank you.
Thank you so
I didn't
very
see it
much.
pop up on the screen, did it not? Oh, I logged into the wrong thing. So are these widgets not working? Yeah, it's on like Twitch widgets. Oops. My bad. But anyway, thank you, Miss Sheila. Appreciate it. There's Randy Suimatsu there. Other movies of 75. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Holy hell.
Love it.
Tommy. 7 Days of the Condor. Rocky Horror Picture Show and Dog Day Afternoon. Holy
I love
hell,
Dog Day
man.
Afternoon.
I knew Rocky
It's one
Horror
of my
Picture
favorites.
Show. But damn. Half a century old. Lady Jen, she says she don't get in the ocean either. Jacques Cousteau.
Who? Lady Jen said that?
Near the beach she lives, don't get in the ocean. So
Very
you've
smart.
never ever swam in the ocean?
I have one time.
Okay.
There
Like
was-
deep or knee deep or
It was
Actual
no, I actually
swimming?
swam.
Okay.
Because we were skinny dipping, and I looked at my buddy and I was like, "If James Wright gets eaten by a shark, you know the bait that took his ass out there in the deep water."
Yeah, the worm.
Oh my God!
Oh shit. Oh, hell.
Chasing boobies.
Well, you did get in there then. Okay.
I did.
Cujo.
It was at night too.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was a little drunk.
Yeah, I'm sure. Been there, done that for sure. Cujo, yeah, that was another good one. Monty Python, The Holy Grail. Ooh, that's awesome.
So fun.
Tis but a scratch. It's a fucking hell. Reminder, we do have the live show going as usual. I'll flip it over to the other screen here in a second. I guess really quick, should I tell them my bucket story?
Please.
Let me tell you my bucket
do.
story real quick. Since Mander asked about the
I think
Metallica
it's
concert.
hilarious.
So I got way too much Metallica shit now. This is like an old classic shirt I always never got, but always wanted. So we're going to the concert. And my girlfriend got us tickets for my birthday, and she also bought parking. So we had a parking spot fairly close to the stadium. This was Bank of America Stadium where the Panthers play, outdoor. 75,000 people, by the way, and it was fucking full, absolutely packed. It's crazy. And I'd been to many Panthers games, but we sat high on purpose because I wasn't getting down low and getting all this shit. And I was like, I'm too old to be in a snake pit or any of that shit. But you know, side note, after we got there, that area outside the stage was so much room. We could have just sat down back there like a lot of people are doing.
Oh, really?
I would have. Next time I'll do that.
No shit.
And you could stand up if you want to and get near the stage or not. You can just go back and kind of sit down next to the wall. Anyway, so we're driving in. You know, we got the traffic's heavy, obviously. We're getting all the cops are directing traffic, no stoplights. I start feeling the pain. Everybody knows this pain. When you're in a car somewhere, it's always the wrong time. You got to go. You're stuck in traffic. You're trying to get home or wherever. Thank you, AK Watch. Thank you. And I start feeling. I'm like, okay, maybe it'll go away. You know, sometimes you move right or whatever. You can get it to kind of go away for a while. Didn't go away. Got worse as we got closer to the parking deck. It was getting to where I'm like, oh shit, man. I was like, we're stopped, you know, before we even could turn into the parking deck. I'm like looking into the stores. Like, is there a store right here I can jump out
real quick,
and you know, you can hop in the driver's seat, and then I'll just find you if you moved even 5 feet. I was at that point, right? I'm looking, and there was no stores. It was all like apartments and nothing. We get up in the parking deck finally, six levels, and I'm sweating. I'm already sweating. I'm like, pain, sweating. I'm squeezing. And get up to the 6th level. It's still open up there, but people are pulling in behind us. And I'm like, I get out of the car. I can't go. I can't make it. There's no way I'm walking to the elevator or the stairs, either one, going down and then walking across the street 2 blocks or a block and a half, something like that, to the stadium. No way in hell. There's no way. I'm like, this has got to happen here and now. So luckily, I did have buckets in the back because we go gold prospecting every weekend when it's cool enough now. Now it's too hot. So pulled out that bucket. My girl pulls out 2 bags. We double layered it, because we had like some grocery bags or whatever in there, and layers that thing up and then put it behind this other car. And she stood behind me because there are people still parking and getting out of their cars right here. I mean, we're like beside, one car was beside us, luckily, so I could get a little bit of privacy back there. So I put that bucket down, and oh my God, that was the biggest fucking relief. She stood behind me and kind of blocked that view, and the car was blocking this side, and then her car was blocking a little bit. So people were walking by, but I was just like down here. Dude. I was kind of like this because it was a low car. My head was sticking over the top of the trunk. Anyway, so
imagine how uncomfortable you'd have been had you not done it.
I'd have never.
If you could have held it, you would have been miserable. Absolutely
miserable. No.
What did you do with the bags?
Okay, yeah, good question. Sealed them up really tight. Side note, I had wipes because we always have wipes in the car.
Hell yeah.
Because there's been plenty of times when you go out in the woods and, if you ever go camping or hiking or whatever, sometimes you got to go. In the woods, it kind of feels natural. So I had wipes in there, no problem there. I was clean, no messes. And I bought them up tight, like triple tied them and just threw them in the corner and left that shit there, literally. So yeah, there's my bucket story.
My hands were clean. My girl's got pink eye now.
Swear to God. That's right. When you got to go, you got to go.
That's right. And Natalie, that is a ride or die girlfriend. I told him the same thing that when he told me that story.
Yeah, she might be hanging around in here, by the way. I think she is. I think I see somebody, maybe. I'm not sure.
I said, imagine if that was like your first date or something.
No, that's right. So that's the final level right there. We always joke about it. We wasn't there yet. We're there because like shitting, because I always close the door. No matter if I'm home alone, I always lock the door. That's like your alone time, right? That's just always been the way it is. But now we're way past that. So
if you're gonna shit at a Metallica concert.
That's right. If you're gonna do it in public in a bucket in a Metallica concert. Yes. Fuck it. So now it's funny. It was not funny in that moment, but right where it was over, it was funny as hell. I was like, at least we got a story. I can't wait to tell.
You got sweat pouring down your forehead.
Yo, I'm sitting there like, fucking sweating. Oh my God, you know how it is. Everybody's been at least felt that, whether you lost it or not. Anyway. So there's your exactly brown bag.
We read that at the same time.
Yeah, so, sport. Are you going to break down Last of Us episodes or Andor? I'm going to watch Andor. I told Mazuma this. I am going to watch Andor. I got to catch up. I'm on season 1. I started it when it came out. I think I'm 3 or 4 episodes in. I did not watch The Last of Us. I know what happens, and I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if that show will last much longer. I won't spoil anything, but I know what happens, so I don't know if it can go on much longer. So
did you look in the bag?
Huh?
Did you look in the bag?
I did not.
So you don't know if it was a 2-liter or Shaq's fetus?
That's right. No, it was definitely not Shaq's fetus. Oh shit, that's right.
Glad you wasn't at a Korn concert.
Yeah, no, it was. It happened quick. I'll put it that way. But yeah, luckily it wasn't one of those nasty things, where it breaks up. You got to wipe for fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be the worst.
That's the worst. Man. Oh my Lord. Anyway, I'm gonna be the final boss, Brownden Ring. Oh shit. So anyway,
did you catch that other super chat?
Oh no, I did, but I'm still running my mouth. Lady Jen, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you so very much.
Happy birthday! Thanks. Too many thanks for so many years. It's been a long time.
It has.
We've been on here for 10 years, man.
Yeah, I was telling Chris, I moved in with him 9 years ago.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It really is, man.
Yeah. Half a century, man. Anyway, let's see here.
Do you
Bubble Guts? That's right. Got to go.
Did Jaws mean anything to you? Like, do you rank it high on your movies?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, it's one of those things. Any movie where it's still talked about, first of all, but it changes the way you think of a location or an area or a place or a thing that you do in life in general, like a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love Jaws. And yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't obsess over it probably like you do with sharks, but I know that's just your thing.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It is weird. There's things like that I don't know how they get in there, burrow in your brain, and change your whole life.
Yep, that's true.
But
all right, I heard somebody ding. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I heard somebody pop in here.
Oh, that's what that sound was.
Yeah, that was that ding.
Nobody's joined us in so long.
Yeah, we hadn't. Everybody's scared. There we go. Signal Strength says Metallica's unreleased album "Ride the Bucket." Shit. All right, let's see who's joined us.
To hear that story, I know they would.
Yes, let's see who this is. It is Diane Harris is back. Hello, Diane. Welcome back again.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I think I'm about ready to roast alive. It is so damn hot.
Oh my God, it's already like July, August hot. It's literally the middle of June, and today was absolutely horrible.
It's all 90s to 100 this week.
Yes.
Yeah, we're under like that heat dome effect or whatever they call it. I'm about ready to die. Shark or not, I go jump in the ocean right now.
Right. There's a good question. That's a good little. Would you jump in the ocean to cool off from the June heat from working in the middle of work? Yeah, it's already. It's almost like it was a switch flipped last week when we were camping. It was manageable. It was like 82, 83, 85, but it wasn't crazy humid. So you were sweating a little bit, but not horrible. You wasn't miserable. And plus, we were down the water gold panning, so we get wet and get cooled off anyway. But now, we're done for a while.
Oh my gosh, it is so hot. We've got the AC running and we've got box fans running, and it is still over 80 degrees in here.
That is pitiful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one thing I worry every year is because I've had these horrible problems every year with my ACs, and this year it's working fine so far. Knock on something, but it's like the first hot day I see every year. It's like it doesn't keep up, and I'm like, here we go again. And it's some things, some leaks, some low on whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, mine's not keeping up right now.
Yeah,
I'm just worried about power outages.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you got to. We had one of those at the old house, and me and Riddick had to go to my mom's house because it was so hot, middle of summer, in the middle of the night. So, definitely.
I got a little USB fan that I'll plug it up to my laptop and I'll run it. If I'm hot, I can't sleep.
Me neither.
Hell no.
Nope, I get it completely. And I was going to say, the last time my buddy and Baker and I went camping, that's why we had to reschedule from like spring, because we always went in the spring when it was still cool and you could build fires at night, camping. But he was still in the National Guard at the time, so we had to reschedule to July. And I'll never do that again. 110 degrees in Uwharrie and the bugs in the forest and Jesus Christ. We got in the car, we sat in the car, we went to the movies like we did that one time when it stormed real bad just to stay in the AC. Never again.
And if it's too hot to cuddle, why can't
That's right. Him and Ho couldn't cuddle in that storm. Excuse me.
Goodness. Yeah, the only reason that I like the summer anymore is I have a small garden, and I'll grow like cucumbers and tomatoes and stuff like that. Despite the fact that I freeze easy, I'm just going to be honest with you. I prefer the cool weather.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I'm a winter boy.
Layer up to keep warm.
That's right.
You can only take so much off before it's illegal.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've been working outside the last month or so, and it's like Chris said, it's not even July or August yet, and it's too miserable. It's just the humidity is so thick. You have this sheen over your skin as soon as you get out of the vehicle, and
who is this? By the way, who is this? Isenajaj, no such in the chat here. Who's that?
Oh,
look at it. You recognize that, James?
I do.
What is that?
Hello.
Sorry, Diane. I just noticed a creeper here in the chat.
Well, I know the 5 minutes is probably it, but I just wanted to ask you: do you have any plans of a season 2 Southern Starks?
Oh, I would love to do it. It's right now, Diane. Everything is just work. Like him too. But now that I'm working full time, it's just so hard to do all that stuff right now. And I don't watch any shows right now to do things on. And then those are a lot of work. A lot of work compared to a regular old video, sitting like this and then putting a camera here and talking about a show. You have to put up green screens and move shit around and change costumes and put Riddick's toys on your shoulders. And then the editing
would be so fun.
It would be. So I would love to have a crew, somebody that does all that stuff and helps us out, and we have a couple people at least. Because we got King Robert right here.
I love to say, and I want to do that.
I know.
And I love to say, if I ever win the lottery, I'll XYZ.
Yeah.
Damn it, I don't play the lottery enough to win it.
That's right.
I shouldn't even say that.
Right.
I'll play when it gets like 600 million.
I would love to do it. We talked about having a whole separate channel called Skit Happens, and me and him and my cousin Eric, and we talked about it. And then I put those few out, and I saw a few copycats out there. I don't know if it was, not saying they're copying me necessarily, but something very similar. And I don't remember where I saw them. I don't think it was YouTube. It might have been like shorts or I can't remember now. Maybe reels or something. But somebody's doing that, and it's like I know it's a good idea. I know it's funny.
It is a really good idea.
But yeah, I would love to do it. I mean, we just right now we just can't do it. It's just because of work, which sucks. Because this used to be my full-time job, so I had all day to sit there and set up green screens and move shit. You remember the old living room? James will tell you.
Loved it.
We had to slide shit everywhere in that little tiny place to stream in there or to do a video, or especially those. I had to move the whole couch over and everything else and set up a green screen way back there and get all these angles. And so it's not easy.
Well, when I sleep, I usually listen to YouTube, and I have a set playlist that I listen to, and it's got everything from audiobooks to music, and it's got season 1 of Southern Starks right in there.
That's awesome, man.
That's funny. Hear my dumb ass.
You really did good with those.
Yeah, those are funny.
I like the Star Wars ones. Now, I did like that one, but I think the Southern Starks is by far my favorite that I've seen.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun to do. I told James I was going to do like every major scene, and then we were talking about the next one would have been them meeting Robert, and we stopped there because I was like, you got to play Robert, man. It's like, yep, we got to do it. So we'll figure something out one of these days. We'll win the lottery.
It would be so fun.
So that's just what sucks about this type of thing with content creation or whatever in the hell we calling it these days. Is like once you're back to work, it's hard to do because I started this on the side on nights and weekends, and then it became full time quicker than I thought.
Yeah,
and now I'm back to working. So
and then when the show went away, the momentum.
That all just died. Yeah, everything died. I thought those would do better than they did. I honestly never really did, but. Maybe I know a few people liked them. I know Diane liked them because she mentioned them every week.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I want to do them. Believe me, I do.
There's very few things that cheer me up in life, and that's one of them.
Oh my God, Eddie Stark. I gotta say all this shit every time I kill somebody. Really? I bought wigs. I got wigs in the closet.
Yeah.
James could be Bobby B.
That's right. A lot of different characters. He'd play a lot of different characters. The Mountain, Bobby B, because you don't have to talk during the mountain scenes, I guess.
Dude.
But, I mean, when I held ice, I remember, and this was never scripted. I just, like, wrote down, like, the scenes from the show, so I can know, okay, I can go ahead and film these two as Eddie Stark here, so I don't have to change the thing. So I'll do those out of order. But I remember, sitting there saying, that, and Robert Baratheon, whatever I said was, fifth, eighth of his name or whatever. Do I got to say all this shit every time I kill somebody? Really? And then you just have Bran going, and it just was a perfect cut. So that was funny as hell. And then, what's his name? Sir Roderick Castle. My lady? Bitch. He's under his breath. He's got the thing tied up.
Yes.
His beard tied up. So I bought 3 different wigs for it. I figured black, white, and brown would cover everybody. So it worked.
And the scene where you find the dire wolf, who's playing that spooky ass music?
That's right.
And,
I need to go watch those again. Because I did all the individuals, and then I put them together like that one you're probably talking about. It's like a 30-minute. It's like all of them in order. So I need to go watch those again. Those are fun.
I do too.
Get inspired.
Yeah, maybe I will. All righty. Well, Miss Diane, thanks for calling again.
Thank you so much.
She's never scared, y'all.
That's right.
Don't be scared. Life's too short to be scared.
That's right.
Listen,
you are practically family by this point.
That's right.
Exactly.
And I hope you get some relief on the heat soon.
Yes.
God, don't we just? I pray for it, but I mean it'll end. I think it's only supposed to be until the end of. Well, to be honest with you, the forecast only goes up to July the 1st, but I think we're supposed to get some chances of storms.
Well, yeah, you're going to get to the point where every afternoon there's going to be a storm soon, so that's coming. Yep.
More in tornadoes, I'll be standing right out there in it.
But I mowed yesterday almost in the dark. I had to finally mow. It was been raining so much before that. I mowed almost in the dark, and then I was fine mowing because by then it cooled off a little bit, still like 85, but it was fine. And then the sun was basically gone. But then when I started weed eating, that was it. I was pouring sweat.
Then the mosquitoes try to pack you off.
Yep, and the no-see-ums, as we call them here in the South.
Well, we had locusts for cicadas here for the first part of the summer, and now they've obviously all died or left or both.
Yeah, well, it's like an early one or something. Everything's coming early. Maybe by August it'll be cool. Maybe we'll have fall in August.
Maybe.
There you go, James. That's your favorite saying. Sharks do exploratory bites. All right, Miss Diane, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome.
And you have a good one. Stay cool. All righty. Stay cool.
Talk soon.
Cool, be cool. Talk to you later.
All righty.
Bye-bye. All
right. Thank you, Miss Diane. There we go. There she goes. And let's close that one. All right. Yeah, James, this makes his skin crawl. When they say they just do exploratory bites, which they do, we understand that, but they still.
I get the concept, but for them to say they don't like the taste of humans, right? I'm like that when they bite. A lot of times it's what they call it
exploratory.
Like. Identity
mistaken identity
thing, or whatever.
Like the surfboards look like seals and all that stuff.
And I'm like, they're 400 million years old, perfect killing machine, and they can't tell a damn human from a seal. I'll be damned. They know what they're doing. They're hungry and they're gonna eat. And sometimes we happen to put ourselves right on their fucking dinner table.
Exactly. No different from going hiking in, deserts type mountainous areas where fucking mountain lions, they're extremely aggressive and they do fuck people up. They don't care about taste.
And I am, I'd like to think I'm normal in this aspect. I care about shark conservation and not.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah. They've
hunting them down
and to death.
Yeah. I don't like all that shark fin soup.
Yeah, now as much as I love Japanese culture, that's the stuff I hate about it is just, they've overfished them and just almost damn brought the whole entire ecosystems to halt for some random ass soup delicacy for a few rich people. It's just so stupid to me, but whatever.
And my problem with these shark attack videos or anything about sharks where shark attacks get brought up, people are no sympathy, no compassion. Yeah. Somebody could lose their limb, or a family member lost a loved one, and people are in the comments like, dumbass shouldn't have been in the ocean.
Yeah, right.
That's their home.
Yeah, that's right. So is everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, we live here too, dude.
That's right. We're all natural. I'm sorry, I was laughing at Mazuma. Chris got mistaken for the restaurant owner at the local hibachi place, 3.5%. I did. I told you can't tell us apart. 3.5% Asian. Oh, shit, that's funny. That's why we need a bigger boat. So, yeah, as far as the Jaws thing, though, I'm sorry, Randy, there's an AI Got Hillbilly parody on Twitter that's pretty, see? Somebody took my shit and made AI shit. AI's going to get on my nerves, man.
Yeah.
It's already, like, I knew this was coming. Me and him talked about it. I know we maybe mentioned on the podcast during that technology podcast we did a long time ago. Because I was talking about, I was doing some voiceover stuff.
Yep.
And every little job that I get invited for now, because you can go in there and apply for all the ones, but then they'll privately invite a lot of people, some of them, and they're all for AI now. Like I got one invite the other day, which I need to check it out, actually. It's actually for a TV commercial. It's like a legit thing. But the rest of them have all been AI studies, or where they use your voice to make better models, and some actually want your permission to actually clone your voice.
Okay.
Now, these are high-paying jobs, but it's like there's like 90,000 words, some of them. Some of them are like 10,000 words. So every voiceover job right now is a fucking AI job.
Damn.
To help AI get better, So there's I don't see any regular stuff hardly anymore. It's crazy. My cousin lost her legs in a shark attack. Now we call her, is that say
Eileen?
Eileen. Okay. I'm half blind now because I'm 50 and old. But, so as far as Jaws goes, James, go ahead. I didn't mean to just step in and interrupt you. What else about Jaws?
Well, what I like, the scene where Chief Brody is on the beach sitting down, and the camera pulls away, or was it draws in or pulls, like that effect.
Yeah, they did
that. Made
zoom,
that effect,
the quick zoom. Yeah.
Popular.
Yes,
things like that.
It's those type of things like the Matrix that changes movie making. Yeah, the Matrix was the biggest, I think, influence on movie making in that era, at least. But yes, those kind of, because they made he took a regular thing that people do for vacation and fun and made it a horror movie. That's what he did with a fish. Yeah. He made a fish a horror icon.
And, I mean, Peter Benchley wrote the book, but the book is so different. And trying to translate that, they had this 25-foot mechanical shark that worked fine in pools. Mm-hmm. And then they put it in salt water.
Oops.
Yeah. And damn, man.
Forgot about that whole difference in saltwater and freshwater buoyancy, huh? Randy says actually it was in a trailer park. I think I know what you're talking about, Randy. I have to find that. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I saw what I could call it, because I wanted mine to be dumb and kind of shitty, right? I mean, I purposely made it, not that I have the best equipment anyway, but I purposely made it shitty where I have Riddick's toys on my shoulder with a blanket. I didn't want it like actual costumes and stuff. But I think I know what you're talking about. I'm going to have to find that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Lucis says, Chris, you need to get a sponsorship for that wet wipes that saved your day. Hey, dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Yes. Dude wipes. If you're out there listening, I know you're not listening to this podcast with two people in it, but we would absolutely.
I use them.
I can't go without them now. If Dude Wipes, if you're out there, reach out. We'll absolutely take a sponsorship.
100%.
Even if it's for $10, man. Yep. We don't get sponsors or anything because we're not super duper big podcast, but that would be cool. It's a good idea. Amanda says, we're freezing. Are we freezing, or is it your squirrel internet, Mander? Let me see. Let me see if I see any frame stuff. Nope. 2 hours ago, somebody else tried to join? That can't be right.
Oh, you might not have had the sounds working and we didn't know it.
Well, we ain't been streaming 2 hours.
Oh,
that can't be
that's a good
right.
Point.
Maybe that was from last time. I don't see any. I was just looking, Mander. We're good on stats here. We're not losing any frames, barely, like the usual stuff. So we're good on our end. So I did have an internet issue here before they finally fixed it. When I got back, there had been a bunch of storms, but they finally balanced out the shit around here. So now everything's like flying finally, because I think that's been out of whack for a while since they added these new houses. They tacked on. I don't think they fucking changed that amp.
Well, you know how the older we get.
Well, we did get a little warning there, but it's still good.
Oh.
Okay, now it says good. It's back to good. I don't know. Maybe we did flicker out there. Sorry.
You know how the older we get, the more history seems to change?
Mm-hmm.
That's so freaking weird. I mean, history is history, right? The story that Quint tells in there about the USS Indianapolis sinking and the sailors getting eaten by sharks.
Yes.
An iconic scene is so, just powerful. That always traumatized me as a kid and fascinated me with, that story. I have some books at home on it. And now people are trying to say, that, well,
here comes the
sharks. Technically, with a little research, we found that the sharks really weren't the reason most of those sailors died.
Right.
It's exposure and things
Right,
like that.
No, is that why all the survivors told those stories for so many years and it was in Guinness Book of World Records as the worst maritime shark disaster?
Now, I will say, too, I've learned over the years with, Jaws bringing, because, you never, I mean, of course, we were kids anyway, but I don't think without Jaws, we would have been thinking about sharks going to the ocean and as much. You might have if you saw a news story about an attack or something, but nearly as much. We did learn something. There was a lot of those wives' tales for a while, like they could smell blood from like 10 miles away, a drop of blood. It's all bullshit. Buy that. It's all bullshit.
It's physically impossible.
That's right. It is, and
there's not a sensory organ in their body that can pick up a drop of blood from that far away.
No, and they prove, and the I think Veritasium, if you're familiar with that science channel here, he's a big science guy on YouTube. There's a couple of those. I'll see him every once in a while, and he did an episode on that and tested it. And that's all bullshit. So that movie did I don't know if they mentioned that in there, but it propagated at least a lot of wives' tales about sharks too, about stuff like that. Because they did some testing on it and they didn't make any fucking difference. They're attracted, I think, to movement. I'm not saying they can't smell it closer, obviously.
Of course,
because chum in the water works.
Yeah,
but it ain't fucking 10 miles out.
It's impossible.
Yeah. So, yeah, they'll always say, you'll always hear stuff like that about animals, like a dog's sense of smell is 10,000 times greater than human. What does that actually mean? How did you figure out that number? Right. You know what I mean? So whatever. Obviously, yes, their smell is a lot better than ours. I'm just saying. So there is some other stuff like that too. It's interesting if you're like the sciencey stuff behind it and the actual like if you watch Animal Planet or Oceans of the World or whatever, where there's Morgan Freeman narrating. Now this is the great white shark, and he comes in everywhere to feed at Seal Island. Whatever. Those are cool. But now they're finally learning that that's all bullshit.
Well, that's what I like. Hooper, the marine biologist in the movie, he's telling the mayor, all they do is swim and eat and make little sharks.
Mm-hmm. Swim and eat and fuck, I think.
That's it, dude.
That's what he said. Oh, there you go. Oh, Lord Kev about said at the same time, most sharks do two things, swim and eat. If we stick our ham bones in the living room while they refuse DoorDash. That's right. But
Saturday Night Live used to do Land Shark, that knock at the door, and then big jaws would come through the freaking door. That was funny.
Yeah. But that's always what got on James' his nerves so bad was when people would say it's their environment. I get what they're saying.
Yeah,
but it's also our environment. We're also
really
natural.
It's the point
when people say,
we're not aliens.
And that'll go to, let me just, a little side rant here, a larger point to that. You hear people say man-made. What does that mean? We're natural.
We are natural.
We are absolutely natural. And whatever we make would therefore be natural, right? We're just using our brains. We just happen to have higher levels of thinking. And we just use those things. So, what does that mean? Man-made. I get it. Like you could say this is a man-made lake versus a natural, I guess. But you know what I mean. It's like we just, sometimes we fuck it up, but we use our brains. So that separates
our
them.
buddy Jim, he hit me with a thing one time, a question. He was like, a beaver dam, is that natural? It'll wipe out a whole freaking...
absolutely.
A farmer's crop.
Absolutely. Yep.
Bill,
I'm 4 years older than this movie. Happy birthday, Bill. If it's is it this month? I'm exactly the same. So wait a minute, when did Jaws come out, James? You said 75. It was the same.
2 days after you.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Well, it wasn't on June 18th.
It
exactly.
was the 20th.
Yeah, I gotcha. My friend Andy always used to say, "Get busy swimming, get busy dying." That's right.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Shawshank.
Yeah, exactly. My friend Andy used to say, I can't do Morgan Freeman at all, by the way. I'm not trying to. I'm just doing the standard voice. But that's one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way.
That is such a good
Top
one.
5, Shawshank.
Such a good one.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, fun fact about Shawshank Redemption, since we're talking about movies, did you know that the end scene originally was just Red riding off in the bus? It was never going to be him actually meeting Andy on the beach.
No.
But somebody said, hey, we get the idea that he's probably going to see him, but can you at least give us the favor and pay it off and let us actually know for sure that they met again? So he added the rest of it where he did go to the tree, found the thing, got on the bus, went in there and actually walked up on the beach fixing his boat up. I just learned that 3 days ago. I don't know where, on some random thing. Absolutely outstanding movie. I watch that once a year at least. Saturday Night Live is also 50 this year. Are you shitting me? Damn. We're old, dude.
Yeah.
You're really old. I mean, I'm kind of old.
Oh, yeah. Thanks a lot. 52.
You're really fucking old. James is I'm early 50s now, right? James is almost getting close to mid.
God
when you hit 53, you're mid 50s.
Yeah. Dude, I just turned 52. Let me my years. Let me have my years.
I'm doing like Eric does to me. Eric for 3 years has wanted me to be 50. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to catch up with you. It's not how it works. He's been saying since I was 47, you're going to be 50, right? No, Eric, 47 every year. So he got me this card this year that had 50 repeated. You saw it downstairs. I don't know if you read it.
Yeah, a million times.
He said, because he's been doing that for years. Okay, Nata, this is a good point, Nata. Nata's saying, Chris, we're not natural anymore. We're full of microplastics. Meow. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. Who made the microplastics? Right? So is plastic natural? I mean, I'm not saying I know the answer. I'm saying that's a question to pose about natural versus man-made or whatever. Yes, we made it, but is it now natural? Dude, because we figured out how to do it from the natural world. So, yeah, anyway, just food for thought. I'm not saying it's good, by the way. I don't mean. I'm just saying it's a
whole
philosophical question.
Thing
yeah,
bothers me.
It does too. Me too.
Because if that's actually happening to us, man,
yeah,
that's jacked.
Now it is a problem, obviously, that there's millions of tons of trash floating around in our oceans. No doubt about it. So I'm not saying we're clean about it. I'm just saying, but is it natural because we made it? You know what I mean? That's a philosophical thing.
Or name the things that you know about me that really scare me or freak me out when I dwell on them?
Me, name some things for you. Number one is ghosts.
Yes.
Absolutely ghosts. Sharks is absolutely number two. I don't know. You could put those equally.
I think you know number three.
I know it's on the tip of my tongue. I just had a brain fart. I cannot think tonight, dude, by the way, because I'm 50.
Just an irrational fear kind of thing that most people don't have.
Hold on now. I know all these. I just had it lined up, like in my head, had a list already.
Think of when we worked together.
Oh, dogs. Yeah, dogs.
Yep,
yeah, dogs. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
And then there's one more.
Now, when he says irrational, what he means is, like, it's totally understandable to be afraid of big, scary, barking dogs. But what James is talking about is you're got a safety of a fence up and a dog's on the other side. Now, this is a 6 foot, and I understand that fence is a little wobbly. But in most cases, there's a 6 foot fence. There ain't no dog jumping over that. And it barking on the other side pretty aggressively, but you're safe and working on a little box.
It wasn't barking on the other side. It was banging. This fence was like, boom, 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 boom.
I know. The thing is, he left. So I was outside working on a cable box side of a house. James was helping me at the end of the day because that's what we did. We helped each other when we're done. And I was working but he left. I went in through and went to the backyard after that. Dog never. It's one of those things where they see somebody through it's like you see the videos of the two dogs barking through the fence, and then they open the fence and they just go start sniffing each other, and then they close the fence and they start barking again.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Because I went in that house and a big ass dog in there, and he just sniffed and just went on. Didn't bug me. But yeah, that's true. What else though?
Okay, I think that I dwell on more than the normal person.
Yeah,
is death, getting old.
That's me for sure.
I worry about. I don't. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, everybody's got to go."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no shit, man. But how I go is really
right.
It freaks me out to think about.
That's another thing too. Speaking of being 50 and all that stuff,
mortality.
and it's mortality. Like you just said, you took the words out of my mouth. It's easy for people to say we all got to go and blah 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 blah. But look, you gotta at some point. I'm assuming that because I remember my grandparents. My grandpa, he was sick. He had a brain tumor and whatever. But at the end, he was like, because he lost his speech and stuff. But the only thing you could understand the last few days were, take me away. Like he wanted to go, right? So I get that type of situation. But other people are seem cool with it at an old age. And I'm assuming there's a time that you come to that realization and you kind of accept it and it's cool. And it's like my mom always says stuff like, I don't want to live to be 80. I'm like, shut up. Stop saying that. She says that all the time. And she's totally fine saying it. I don't know. But that's one thing for me. You know me, I have horrible health anxiety. Even though I'm in fairly good health. There's no real reason. It's kind of irrational, but it's part of that anxiety thing that I deal with. So you've heard me mention that a million times for sure.
And I would say my other one, and I'd say that's about it.
Fear of dairy.
Fear, like how whenever I really, really, really stop to think, or when we're watching something and it talks about how ginormous the universe is, I start if I really put myself into really thinking about it, I can feel, I don't know, it makes me feel so small and insignificant or something, and it does something to me. I have to stop thinking about it for a little bit, and then I can think about it.
You've mentioned that before because it bothers you, and a lot of people, not just you, but I know you specifically mentioned that to me. We're talking because we'll get on nerdy stuff. Like I told James we need to do a physics podcast, like on gravity and physics and general relativity. I love that shit, but it does when you start thinking about the vastness of what's out there. It makes you feel insignificant, and if you're kind of religious, it almost butts up against that to a degree.
See those pictures, and it'll say this little tiny blue dot is Earth.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh my God. I guess those, what do they call them, Voyagers or whatever they sent out.
Yeah. That's what Star Trek started with. Yeah.
Man, they just, I don't know. I don't like to think that. Like, to me, the way more comforting thing would be the religious, or I guess the biblical description of, okay, there's a little control to this. It's not just like we're just in this Goldilocks zone and we're spinning at the right speed and
in the right spot,
right axis, and
exactly.
like all that stuff has to be perfect, and
that leaves to me though, that leaves plenty of room for that stuff, that religious, greater being, whatever, too, for sure. But I know exactly what you mean. It does, but at the same time, I try to appreciate how cool it is how all this works. You know what I'm saying, and try to figure that out. I just saw a minute ago. I'm sorry. Oh, DF Tech Writer. I was 13 when I went to see Jaws in '75. Didn't help my fear of the water at all, but it's a great time at the movies.
Oh yeah, I wish.
Yeah. So have you when you go to the beach since then? I'm not saying it stops you from swimming in the ocean or whatever you do down there if you go out boating or whatever, but do you think about it every single time? Yes or no?
See, two people mentioning Karen Reed. I didn't know the jury had come back with anything.
Yeah, they did. They found her not guilty of murder, but guilty of drunk driving, and here comes the civil suits. So we knew that was
hell.
Coming.
They all drunk drive that night.
They absolutely. They
all
did.
left the bar drunk.
Somebody did. Yeah, I mean, there might have been a car full, but one of them did. Well, yeah, we knew that. We talked about it in the first one with Teflon popped in here. Yeah,
too much reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I still have no doubt she hit him, but yeah, I knew she was getting off. Especially after, I don't know if you saw any. I started watching the trial after we did that first one, the pieces of it and chunks of it and some clips and videos, especially like court TV where they just let them play without talking. But there was a video that showed that the defense tried to show this video and had this expert, and it showed that he could have broken the thing at a very low speed with his elbow, the glass and all that stuff. And there's just too many things to explain away. But anyway, I did see where that was, 3 days ago? I think that came out. I think 3 or 4 days ago. Oh yeah, Brian Cox. Yeah. I'll tell you, if you like physics, if you're a nerd like me and you like physics and relativity especially, because I can go to bed thinking about gravity. We know what it is, right? Kind of now. We know it's the result of curvature of space-time, but that's just the kind of thing people throw out there. What does that actually mean? What is curving? If space is basically nothing except for some particles here and there, what is actually curving? This is still what keeps me awake type of thing. I'm just such a nerd about that shit.
Well, I mean, I liked physics in school, but we were doing things like, because my physics teacher was the baseball coach. So we were doing things like if a ball was traveling at 95 miles an hour and the batter hits it at this angle, is it going to clear the green monster in Fenway kind of thing. I love that kind of shit.
Right.
But all the theories and all that shit, it can just
relatively it's mind-bending, and I don't think we even have the ability to picture basically 4D space-time stuff. It's crazy, but there you go. See, DF, she said yes every time we look at horizon at the beach, because that's one thing. You go to the beach and you're always looking for that fin, right? Everybody's looking for that fin. And
then when you see a fin, you're like, is that a dolphin?
Is that a dolphin? Because you see dolphins going out, they're usually a little further out, but they're a little rounded.
Still freaks you out as soon as you see the fin break the surface.
You've never been to me and my mom don't have the place anymore, but we had on the campground at Apache at night. You never been down there with me on the pier where people throw their bait and stuff over, and these huge 6-foot sharks are just circling around the water.
That'd be fun.
That's awesome.
That would be fun.
That's why when I do go swimming, I don't swim near that fucking pier. Number one, there's people fishing. Number two, that's where they go. They know to go there. Every night you can see big, huge motherfucking sharks. Because you catch some little ones all night by accident. You don't mean to. But they're circling around in them lights down there because people are throwing shit. Not supposed to do that, but they do.
And during the day, there's shade there.
Mm-hmm.
And they say the same concept. They swim under cruise ships, and people throw food off of them.
Yep.
There's the shade. There's other fish trying to find shade there, so they come eat them.
It's like anything else.
And
like birds learn to follow boats for food.
That high school kid that jumped off that boat at night, and they like really believe he got taken by a shark.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I saw
What
that
a
video,
nightmare.
and they some people said that they could see it. I didn't really see
I
a
couldn't
shark
see it
there either, but
I buy that it could have been there.
Anyway, what I was going to say, Randy, I see your comment, but I was going to say, if you like physics, I know we're not supposed to be talking about physics, but if you like physics, like I'm talking about, like the Einsteinian, Newtonian, all that kind of nerd stuff, Floathead Physics is a really good channel that really explains stuff in a good way, and he'll do it like with some simple paper stuff. He'll show you this stuff, not only with cool graphics that are simple enough, but he'll actually show you how he can show curvature and all kinds of cool stuff. So Floathead Physics is one of my favorite like physics channels for that type of shit. What is this, Randy? You were saying the Closer to Truth series here on YouTube. Okay, what is that? Closure. Let me put that over here, Randy, so I can remember what you're saying here. Where is that?
I didn't even see it.
The Closure to Truth.
Where are you reading it? Oh,
Randy.
Oh,
right
there it is.
I'll just put it in a YouTube search here, Randy.
The Closer to Truth.
Let's say Closer.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm blind to truth. There we go. The Closure Truth, okay. 641,000 subscribers, Randy. I'm assuming that's the channel. I'll pull that up I'm starting to play a video. All right, yeah, I'll check that out for sure. I'm a huge nerd with that shit. Anyway, and I can't swim. What? You going to the beach, you can't swim? No way.
Don't get on a raft.
Now, see over here. Hold on, DF. Now, gravity's not a force, though, right? We just still call it that, but it's not a force like the strong nuclear and weak nuclear force and electromagnetism. It's not a force. It's just a consequence of curvature. And explain to me what that means, and you'll win the Nobel Prize. Let's see. Lady Danish, here's the PNW. The first worry about is orcas. Yes. We talked about that before too. They are insane. They will fuck a shark up, and they are mean, dude. They play with seals for fun. They don't just eat them.
So do you see them out there in the Pacific Northwest off the coast? They out there much?
Oh shit, man.
That would be cool to see,
dude. And that's one thing that bugs me about we're talking about man-made and natural and all that stuff. Is it as a kid it seems cool, right? Like SeaWorld. Mm-hmm. But keeping those orcas and stuff in confinement, I hate that now, especially after we learned how horrible the circus was as kids.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I don't.
But, dude, I do think about that. Are the kids today shafted because they don't get to see
That's true.
The animal acts that we got to see?
That's true. But when you find out what they were doing.
Yeah,
there's too many rescues now. Like
I know, man,
stuff like that.
We watched that elephant thing.
Yes, it's horrible.
It is,
but yeah, and we have a Lazy Five Ranch. Is that like a rescue? I wonder where to get their animals. They don't have like.
Yeah, I think it is a rescue.
I think it probably is. Yep. Big area. Closer to anything from quantum mechanics to cosmology to cool, very cool. Yeah, that's right up my alley. When I watch YouTube, believe it or not, that's the kind of stuff I'll watch. I'll watch flat earth stuff because it's my guilty pleasure. I'm not really guilty about it because I just think it's hilarious. And then nerdy shit like that. I don't watch like other people doing, TV shows.
The way my dad watches The View because he hates it, he watches flat earthers.
Well, I'll tell you the recent one, if you're interested in something like that, the recent thing is I think I mentioned to you, but a couple big flat earthers went to Antarctica last December, and they saw the 24-hour sun. One of them is Jaron Campanella. He was in the Behind the Curve documentary we watched years ago. Mm-hmm. He's the one at the end that had the experiment where
the light.
Yeah. But now they did come to find out they kind of edited that a little bit and kind of made him look bad. But anyway, he Went to Antarctica. He was one of the biggest flat earthers, right? And he goes to Antarctica, sees the 24-hour sun. He comes back, and he is now preaching that he was wrong. And I respect him for it. Because not everybody's just dumb people that do that. It's a cult. It's a thing where, you feel closer to some group of people because you got some shit going on in your own life. That's what it's about. But now he's, debating the other guy who went and saw the same thing, but still tried to justify it because he wants to hang on to his YouTube audience, which is all it is. And they just had a debate, and now I'm watching that debate.
The way I feel about it is, did you watch Oppenheimer?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Those physicists and stuff, man, when they get those problems that they're seeing it in their head, and then they'll go to the chalkboard and they're it's just this whole fucking string of things.
Right.
And it's like, at some point, as a layman, you have to trust them.
Yeah.
You can't double check that.
Mm-mm.
So you just got to go, I believe this guy because that looks a lot smarter than some dude with some sticks over here trying to prove something. Do you know what I mean? Or a level.
Yeah.
So that's where I fall on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
Now
the other side of that for me, though, is, for the average person, we don't, like you said, we don't understand all that shit as far as the calculations and all that stuff in mathematics. Einstein discovered relativity by just thinking as a thought experiment. That's what I try to do. Like, I'm not going to ever go out and learn those kind of high-end mathematics. That's not my thing. I get that it confirms things. Don't get me wrong. It's very important. But I think you can figure out, in general at least, ideas without knowing mathematics. So that's where
100%. I buy that too, dude.
That's
what I think about these backyard guys.
Yeah.
Who are they're literally, some of those flat earthers, they're literally trying the things they know that make sense, that have.
Yeah, like, dude, I respected Rocket Man. Dude, he died doing it. He was trying, and he had balls of fucking steel.
And
Jesus,
you know how we did that Helen Keller thing?
Yes, we did. Oh, we got so much hate for that.
I know, but I've heard people talking about Stephen Hawking.
Oh my God,
that's being a fraud. And I was like, God, if we didn't know that the dude, before he got Lou Gehrig's disease, was really smart and everything.
Yeah.
That would be jacked up, though.
Yeah.
To wheel somebody out like that.
Yeah, Orca, that's a good point, though. DF said they did make the movie Orca to kind of make it like Jaws, like to make it here's a new Jaws version.
Yeah.
They did make that for sure.
And the cool thing, like the name of the boat in Jaws was the Orca. And I think those movies were kind of being made close to close to the same time as a competition.
Yeah,
and I think that was kind of a slam at them.
Yeah, Ryan, we're all over the place tonight. We have no idea where this is going.
Yeah, but it's fun. That's what I like about it. And that's what I told you. I was like, if we just start talking about your birthday and Jaws, we could talk for hours all night.
Let's see. We have orcas show up in
Natalie
Sound. Yes, 28 years later. Yep.
I keep getting advertisements for that. It looks so good.
And now, if you look on Netflix and all that, 28 days and weeks later has been average because they know that one's coming.
See, I just watched 28 Days Later within the last year for the first time.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. Let's see what they do with it.
When I watched it, I was like, holy shit.
And now there's knockoffs of that.
The Walking Dead basically copied that concept. He woke up in the hospital.
Yep.
I had no idea.
And that's one thing someone was asking me earlier. I haven't watched any of the spinoffs. I've seen some clips of it, but it's like, I got to finish The Walking Dead. I'm on the last season. I never finished it. When I thought, Rick left, and then I thought, this ain't going to work, but it was good. It got really good again without Rick. And then I never made it past the whispers. I'm probably almost to I know what happens because I know the graphic novels, so it's not like you would spoil me or something. But I know I'm like the end of the whispers era. So if that's season 10 or 11, I'm not sure. That's where I'm at. Like Alpha is still alive, and I got to finish that first. And I used to cover that on this channel for Christ's sake, and I never finished the damn show. But so I at least got to finish that before I worry about like Daryl and Carol and Maggie and Negan and all that stuff. But I have seen some clips and stuff. It looks okay. But yeah, I gotta catch up on a lot of shit.
That was good TV.
It was really good.
When it first came out, it was really good. That was really good.
For sure. But all right. I'll tell you what, let's 28 years. Let's take a bathroom break. And maybe when we come back, somebody will join us again. They're all scared every week now.
Yeah, come on.
You can jump on with us. Diane does every week. She ain't scared. But yeah, let's do that, I guess. You good with that?
Yes, sir.
Because it's 11:30 or 11:07. So
11:07.
James you have to work, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, James has to work. So let's take our piss break and then we'll or prototype break, as they're going to say.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and see if somebody will join us. All right, so let me put that on here and give us a few minutes, and we'll be
back in 2 and 2.
Right back.
Once you want
Alrighty, and we are back. Let me get it to the right screen here if I can find it. There we go, and take off this awesome music. There we go. Okay. We are back and still going good, no issues. All right, there's Zara. Hello, Zara. How are you?
Hello.
He's betting the buckets now.
Oh,
got
you
the
see
buckets.
my comment?
Yeah, I did. Oh, I see it now. I did not see that. Sorry, my bad. I like them now. It was like comfortable, actually, fit my ass perfectly. I tell you what though, might have to get a toilet seat top for the woods when we go gold panning.
Oh yeah,
instead of sitting over a tree, because you got to find that perfect tree, and you got time sometimes.
And we're getting older.
That's right.
That position is rough.
Well, people have always had those in boats, right? When you go on a boat,
what do you do? Put a seat over the edge?
No, they just use the buckets.
Oh,
with the toilet seats. Well, yeah, you can. No, you can. Some people do.
I couldn't do it in the ocean.
Yeah.
I've seen sharks breach.
That's right. They can. They may smell that from 10 miles away too.
That's a deterrent.
Yes, it is a spheroid. That's right. Earth is flat. Here we go, Mazuma. Don't get me started. All right. Let's see. Y'all seen the new Final Destination? I think I asked you that.
You did, and guess what? You can get it on Prime now.
It's out now. Yeah, we watched it a little bit early somehow. I'm not telling you how exactly. Somehow we got it in HD early, but it is out on. It's pretty good. I love the Final Destination stuff. That's a good idea for a movie.
Oh, I told you about that new Carey Mulligan movie. Listen, y'all. That is my biggest crush.
I gotta look this up. Yeah, I meant to.
I'm just absolutely in love with Carey Mulligan, and I rented this movie. It's called The Ballad of Some Island.
And I know what you're talking about.
It is so good. Wallace Island, The Ballad of Wallace Island. It's about this damn dude who wins the lottery twice. And gets his favorite musical group from the past, this duet, to come to the island and perform for just him. And there's so much more to it than that, but gosh.
What's her name?
Carey Mulligan.
I know this.
I
think I know who you're talking about.
She's in Mudbound, The Dig. Those are my two favorites with her in them. And
oh, yeah.
And
then the English chick.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, her.
That's her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
trying to future wife.
I was thinking it was the future ex-wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I was for some reason thinking about that one girl that Woody Harrelson played in. I can't remember her name. She gets naked a lot. I can't remember her name though. The Thunder win the championship. Is that the finals, right? The NBA Finals over. Oklahoma City without Durant this time.
Wow.
I was going to say something. I forgot. I was going to ask you something. I forgot. I'm getting old. Our time.
You are.
Our clocks are off because James had to take a leak. I aged. And I'm 51 now, by the way, guys. Ryan. Jaws 2, Spaceballs 2. I'm excited for Spinal 2.
No way.
Favorite
sequels.
Spinal Tap? Ooh, favorite sequels. Ooh, that's a good one.
Well,
I mean, if you want to break it down for actually technically a sequel, it's Empire Strikes Back. But I consider all that one movie, so I don't really separate those. But that's a good one.
I love Grease 2.
Oh, Top Gun.
Oh, that is it. I just finally got to watch that. That's awesome.
That's one of the ones that actually lives up to the hype.
Yes.
I've watched it 3 times probably.
I love Rocky 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Rocky 2.
Rocky 4 for
and
me,
Rocky
though.
4 is amazing.
Yeah.
But Rocky 3 to me, yeah, Randy, Godfather 2 is always number one on the sequel best sequel of all time list, I do love it. I have to agree. It's super good.
Yep. Yeah, NBA, exactly. I don't watch anymore either, Lord Kev. I just knew it was the finals, but I think I saw an article or something.
I know I'm one of the few people who I like Grease 2 better than Grease, and I love Grease.
Yeah, Grease is awesome. What's up, Rod? Damn it, how you doing? Top Gun Maverick is all the tits. Yes, it is. I freaking loved it, man. I it's one of those things that this ain't gonna work after 40 years or whatever it was, and it is fucking great.
I think
who
the Friday the 13th 2 is better than the first one.
Yes, for sure. And of course,
him
3
with that sack over his head.
Yeah, the sack. But I love the hockey mask. I mean, when he got the hockey mask, for sure. But yeah,
that's another one of those 3D ones,
Yeah.
But it actually is watchable without watching it in 3D.
Yeah. Of course, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying a minute ago, Rod. Is Star Wars and like Lord of the Rings? I count them as one story, but I know they're separate movies. But yes, I mean, all that stuff. Aliens. Yeah, Aliens. That's a good one.
That is a really good sequel. Yes, Stephen. I'm telling you.
Spaceballs 2. I mean, it's got to be.
I want a cool rider.
Oh shit!
That's Michelle Pfeiffer singing.
Are we going into the?
I love Grease 2.
Yeah, God, I could make a whole list of those. All right, so who's got the balls?
We were talking about Iron Man downstairs.
Yeah, we were talking about Iron Man.
Yeah, those sequels were really good.
The original,
but the original classic. It should be put up there for all time.
Tremors 2, Home Alone 2. Yeah,
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York is a damn good sequel.
I was trying to think. What did you think about
Jaws 2 is good.
Like The Matrix? You can't ever outdo The Matrix, the first one, but it is a complete story. But Airplane 2, there you go, Mizuma.
Dude,
Revenge of the Nerds 2 through 4.
You remember you sat with me and binged The Matrix.
Yeah.
I was way late to that party.
Yes.
Very good.
The Matrix was one of those things. I was working at Siegling making conveyor belts back in the Matrix days, and I remember it was so different from anything I'd ever seen, because I remember seeing the trailers for it, and I was like, all I know is it had computer hacking and martial arts, and I was in, because that's all my jam, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I came back to work, people were like, how was that Matrix? I'm like, dude, not saying a word. You just got to go. It was so different, and it changed the way movies are made to this day.
Yeah.
It was just one of those iconic things. Prey was really good. I like Prey.
Did somebody put Terminator 2? That might be one of the best.
Beverly Hills Cop 2, yeah. Lethal Weapon 2.
The Wrath of Khan, good one.
Yes,
good one.
That's a good call out there, as they say at work. They always say that shit. We're in a meeting and somebody will say something. Good call out. I'm like, God, what does that even fucking mean? I mean, good point.
Signal Strength 5, Road Warrior, fucking good sequel.
Yeah, there's a whole it's very rare for a.
What about Road Warrior sequel to Mad Max, or was the other way around?
I think it was.
I can't remember. Evidently,
Beyond Thunderdome was the first, right?
Put it.
Yeah. What about a sequel that's better than the original? How many of those you got? That's hard to do, right?
Yes,
that's hard to do.
Well, I think T2, Terminator 2 is.
Yeah.
That I don't know. Terminator, the first Terminator, I watched on VHS, rented it from the movie store, and I was floored by that one. That was really good.
Was Terminator 2 the one where he came out with the roses when they played fucking Guns N' Roses around the corner when he was actually because he was the good guy, right?
Terminator 2 was with the one with the liquid metal dude, right?
Yeah, that was the cop, right?
Yeah, dude,
and he was the good. Yeah, so he came
amazing.
Around the corner when John Connor was there with the shotgun and the roses, and they played Welcome to the Jungle or whatever it was. The cop. Yep, that was that one.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh,
I used to have that.
Yes, Breaking.
Album. That was one of the few albums I had back in the day.
Yeah, no shit. All right, who's got the before we got to get out of here in about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, whatever it's going to be, who's going to join us? Anybody else? Y'all scared?
I tell you, all the Toy Stories are good.
I have not seen them all.
I've not seen them all. They're super good.
I just watched
had good sequels.
I just watched in kind of 2 parts with my girl, How to Train Your Dragon, because the live action's coming out. So I finally watched the animated. I loved it.
It's so good.
It's good because I knew about this, the general stuff, and I saw like the commercials with Toothless and Jon Snow and all that shit. So it looked cute.
Yes,
and it was cool.
The live action's looking like it's going to be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, new Predator coming. Looking forward to that. We got Alien Earth, by the way, for the new TV show coming. Y'all seen the teaser for that? That's out now. The full trailer. Alien Earth. Have you seen that?
No.
I should pull that up. I think that's coming later this year. Maybe July. Could be August. I think it's July. It was T2 and the song was You Could Be Mine. Oh, okay.
Boom.
There you go. Rod, of course, yeah. You could turn your camera off. You don't have to be on camera. Yeah. Here, I'll switch it to the screen here. And you can join with the link and just don't allow it. Just turn your camera off if you don't want to be on camera. That's cool. We got a new Happy Gilmore. That's right. Yeah, see, Mizuma, I didn't know the name Hiccup. I knew Toothless, but I didn't know the kid's name. I like Godfather 2 more than 1. Might be the only one. So Godfather 2 is Rod saying is one that's better than the original.
And then for it to do like that, Godfather just epic. Then Godfather 2 outshined it, and then Godfather 3 kind of sucked.
Yeah. Dr. Sleep. I never saw Dr. Sleep. I saw the previews with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's going to be Rod, damn it. Let's see who it is that's joining us. It's the
God.
Don. Tony Teflon is back in the bill. What's up, Tony?
I didn't even know you were here, man.
Yeah.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man? He's back in front of the green screen again.
Yeah. When I do your show, I guess I gotta move to a different room.
Yeah. A little bit. Shit. This ain't no show no more.
Welcome back.
What is up, homie?
I'm good, man. How's everything with y'all?
Going good, man. Good. Getting old, turning 50. Got a
Happy birthday.
Grandbaby on the way. Thanks, sir.
Listen, I got a grandson already myself.
Oh, nice.
So, we survived the wars, man.
Yeah, that's right. Payback is coming.
It is.
That's
what I tell people all the time. Listen, the 90s was rough. People got it easy. The 90s was a difficult situation. People think got it bad now. The 90s was the 90s.
That's right,
dude.
They don't.
I would go back in a fucking heartbeat. I was living large.
Oh yes,
I do it too. But it was rough. It wasn't like it was easy going in the 90s.
No, hell no.
It wasn't. The 70s was the best part to live. You want to live. 70s they was having fun.
Yeah.
Ladies
and then.
I love the little, I only see TikToks and reels of like, what happened to Gen X? Why aren't we talking shit about those guys and all the responses to it about those Gen X?
Awesome, yeah.
Because we will fuck you up. Yeah. If you had to hurt somebody's feelings, you did it to your face. It wasn't no damn internet.
100%. Look, I told people straight up, I said, listen, Gen X, we are the generation that stopped the beating of kids.
Yes.
That's a fact.
We stopped it. Like,
hell yeah. I got beat. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes.
All of our people before they all got beat, we stopped that shit. We the ones who said, you know what, we ain't hitting our kids no more. And now kids don't get hit. We did that.
Yeah, I was telling a young guy at work the other day about a whipping I got when we stayed out all day and our parents had the damn cops looking for us and shit. We were stuck in the woods in this huge briar patch. We weren't like staying out on purpose. We were trying to find a way out without getting thorns all in us. So, Anyway, we got whipped with hickory stick.
Oh God!
I don't know
what
y'all call that in New York, switch or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
My grandmother's from North Carolina, so
yeah,
she used to beat us. She used to make us go
get your own switch. That's right.
And then they pull the leaves off. It's like,
yeah, you got to.
The thin one whips, but the big ones hurt.
Yeah,
too. Like,
hell yeah.
You tried to find that little shit.
I told him. I told that young dude. I was like, yeah, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was like this little piece of skin on my leg was sticking to my blanket, and he looked at me like my mom should have been arrested or something. I was like, she didn't mean to break the skin. It was just her weapon of choice happened to do it.
That's right.
Yeah. My father was 6'7". He was like,
holy shit.
He was like 200 and I would say 270 in his prime and stuff. And he used to lift me up by one leg and hold me upside down and take his belt off at the same time. He holding me. And
he sees there wiggling and shit.
Yes.
And the crazy thing about it was that me and my brother knew we were going to get beat. And she'd always say, my mom would say, I'm going to tell your father.
Yeah.
And this is every time before he beat us, he would go into the bathroom and wash his hands. And every time we heard the water run, we just start crying.
Yes, right.
You got PTSD from the sound of water running.
Sound of water running. And now you still think about that every time you run to water.
Or if you hear a belt come out of belt loops.
That's right. You hear that. Yeah, we scarred, man. The latchkey kids, they call us.
We stopped it, right? We stopped. And I'll say that it's a learned behavior. They didn't do it because they hated us.
That's right.
All right.
It was learned.
They will learn from generation to generation. And that's why I tell all these young cats right now, it's like, we did that. We stopped that. So you millennials and y'all job is to stop racism because that's a learned behavior.
That's right.
Y'all the ones who need to stop it. Y'all need to teach the kids right, and then it's over. And then we get rid of that whole situation.
And that's the thing too, Tony. Me and James have talked about this before too. In the 80s, I think people have a huge misconception about down south, especially. I don't know, obviously, but it's just things we've
think
gotten
that
over time,
it seems that way,
especially on YouTube. But down here, we didn't give a shit about that in the 80s and 90s. Nobody cared, and now it's like it's back.
Our generation,
it's weird.
Our generation stopped saying the N-word. The generation before us, it was just so common to hear white people saying that. Mm-hmm. Our generation was the first to openly have interracial dating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's really weird. I had put the racial problems in the rear view. I didn't think it was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to what I saw in the 70s when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To what I saw when I was an adult. Mm-hmm. Shit, dude, we were on the right track. And now it's like, wow, where's all that progress go?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. We were saying before, and we didn't get into politics or anything, but we were talking about, we go out in your own, instead of watching CNN and shit, go out in your own communities and see what it actually looks like. Now, obviously there's problems still everywhere, but that shit was over. I mean, it was as far as we were concerned.
Me too. I figured, I grew up in the city in Queens and stuff, and in my neighborhood, it was what it was. I grew up in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood, but the thing about my neighborhood was that in order to live there in these co-ops, you had to be an electrician. It was set up for Local 3, right?
Right.
Everyone who lived there, father and mother, was an electrician. So everyone had the same job. Everyone made the same money. You know what I mean? Everyone was on there. So it was Jewish people, Puerto Rican people, Black people, Asian people, anyone in the union. So we all grew up together. So it wasn't until I got upstate, when I went to upstate New York, that I really started seeing there was a difference. I had no idea. I listened to Metallica, and all my friends who listen to Metallica listen to Run DMC.
Exactly.
It was just what it was. I went to my Italian friend's house and I ate spaghetti. I went to my Jewish friend's house and ate gefilte fish and knishes. And they came to my house and ate soul food, and everyone was just everything. And that's just what it was. And I didn't realize it was different until I got to upstate New York. And then I was like, but upstate New York, it was just them because there was no one around. So they were just going by what I'll tell you a funny story real quick.
Hold on, Tony. Hold on one second. I got to say, I never thought I heard Tony Teflon say I listened to Metallica.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was pretty wild.
I don't know if you was on here earlier. We were talking about. I just went to the concert, my 50th birthday, and I never been in my favorite metal bands of all time.
I went last year to Buffalo and see them.
Did you? Nice,
Tony. Either
Very
I'm about
cool.
to have a stroke, or you need to focus your camera.
Yeah, you did go out of focus. It might be.
I don't know why it would happen. We talk about Metallica and everything.
Yeah. There you go. There it is.
There you go.
Got it.
Now you're back.
Yeah, so when I came upstate, and I was friends with this kid Chris Quackenbush, and he had a younger sister, and I go inside of his house, and I'm in his house, and I'm in the basement, and we're out there hanging out, and his little sister comes downstairs, and she looks at me, she goes,
yeah,
and then she
right.
Oh shit!
And he looks at me, and he goes, "What you do to my sister?" I said, "I ain't do nothing. You see, I'm standing right here." His mother and father, because mother comes downstairs, his mother, and she just starts laughing. And she's like, "Oh my God, you don't understand. My daughter just came up and said, 'Mommy, come quick. Cosby's downstairs. Cosby's downstairs.'"
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Oh shit! Yeah, because man, that's what I mean, man. We grew up on the Jeffersons and Cosby and all that stuff, man. It just nobody cared.
Funny.
You know, we could joke about things and stuff
But
like that.
she'd only seen a black person on TV.
Yeah, on
evidently.
TV. Yeah,
She's never seen a black person but Bill Cosby on TV.
Right.
I was the first black person she ever seen in person.
That is a
Right.
trip.
You know, so that's all she knew. She was like, "Oh my God, Cosby."
I'll tell you something funny about what you said about everybody had the same job. Down here, the cotton mill was our city was
Same
built around
thing.
a textile mill.
Yep.
And every family, if you worked there, you could get a mill house really cheap, like $20 a month. They would come
$20
out
a month they check
for a house.
The whole house, $20,000 maybe.
And so everybody on the block, like you knew what shift your buddy's parents worked in the mill because everybody went to work at the same time. But there would be white, black, like the whole neighborhood. You get out and ride your bike, and you know everybody was the same. It was so weird, man.
Yeah, that's the way it is, you know. But modern times or whatever has tried to divide us.
I know, man.
On purpose.
And on purpose, no doubt.
It's on purpose. You divide the poor people. It's the rich people, and that's what it is. It's not. It's just the rich people, because the poor people, we got the same struggles.
Exactly.
We always had the same struggles. We've always been through the same stuff, right? And everything else. But it's the rich people. Like, listen, we gotta divide these people, because if they're together, we can't defeat them and then take advantage of them like we want to. And that's what it really comes down to in the end. It's just them, the rich people, putting ads out there, and like Facebook and this whole algorithm stuff and all these things. It traps you, because if you look up one thing on Facebook, it doesn't matter. You look up one thing on pigeons, the next 50 things you get shown is on pigeons.
Yep.
So if you look up one racist thing or whatever, they will show you 80 of them in a row to the point where it upsets you. And you start thinking that this is what it is. This is what the world is.
That's right.
And you live in that bubble.
And we did a podcast on, we were talking about something technology based, but it was showing how, like, for example, Twitter. And this is what when we talk about, we don't go into politics very often, but everybody's in these bubbles, and it showed how nobody on each side would ever connect because of the algorithms.
Yep.
So you could never get a point of view that was outside of your own. So everybody's in their own fucking bubble. We always said during the pandemic and all that shit and all this stuff that started to be on the media, like, go out in your own town. Are you seeing that there, or is it just CNN telling you that's happening everywhere?
Right.
Because they're showing like, you know, picking and choosing little incidents or whatever to divide, like you said.
Because even when I was young, and I said, like I was saying earlier, you know, we didn't care. It's not like we were naive enough to know that there wasn't a very racist white dude, you know, living in the country somewhere, but wasn't in the circles I ran in. So I'm not still at 52. I'm not naive enough to believe that, you know, some of this bullshit that's getting aired and put in everybody's face isn't creating more of those old white dudes that, you know what I mean? But like our generation, I really thought we had moved past it. And it's so wild, man. I do believe, and it's funny you're here and we're having this conversation, Tony, because Chris and I have always said, if there was a chance to have a summit type podcast.
Yeah, man, Tony's talking about this.
You would be the guy that we would love to have on and talk about these these things they're very sensitive, you know. And listen, I have no idea your life experiences, and I'm sure you've had some rough ones, with that involve people of other races, you know. But like if a black dude whips my ass, I was just telling my son about this junior high thing where this black dude about whipped the shit out of me. That was a mistaken identity, like the shark bite thing.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he came up to me. I was at my girlfriend's chorus concert. I went out to get a drink of water. He comes up to me and is like, "You want to talk that shit now?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He swore I was in a Camaro and rode down his road and called him the N-word. And I'm like, dude, my family don't even own a fucking car. Like, what are you talking about? Where do you live? I don't even know you, man. I'm sorry. And plus, I don't even do that.
I would love to do it with you guys. We could figure it out and get it popping. But yeah, it's just people trying to divide. So we all gone through things, and there are certain things, but I think a lot of people just take things too seriously, and that's the first thing that people reach for, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this person's being mad at me. It's got to be because of this. This person's being this. It's got to be because of that. Maybe people just have a bad day sometimes.
Yeah, right? You're right. That's right, man.
And that's not the reason, but the world you live in, it programs you to make you think that that's the first thing that wants to pop into your head.
Yep.
And that's not the way it should be. And then listen, I grew up in my neighborhood. We fought like this neighborhood, and if people came to our neighborhood, you got whooped. It didn't matter who you were. If you messed with the white dude, the black dude, we all hung out together. And if you came beefing in our neighborhood, it was our neighborhood versus you. And
right,
that was
right.
Who he was. It was
that's right.
No one cared. And a black guy came in there and beefing with my white friend. That black guy got punched in the face. If you came in my neighborhood messing with my friend, that's it. It was no bounds like that. That's right. It was. And it was right burst back and forth. You know what I mean? But we don't have to talk. I know y'all talking about sequels.
Yes,
right?
we are.
Yep. Yeah. No, we'll do that sometime for real though. That me and Tony have talked about this in the past, doing some kind of. I mean, you call it political because I guess it falls in that realm. But yeah, we'll set that up or something.
I would love to. To. So I would say Aliens.
Yes.
Better than Alien.
That's a great one.
Yep.
I would say that.
Actually, Hose in the chat said Captain America: Winter Soldier. And Rod Damon agreed. That's a good one.
100%. 100%. Much better than the original. The original wasn't even that good. It was much better. It's hard to be a prequel, right?
Yes.
A sequel to be better than the first. That's
it is super hard.
And not everybody is done. And I had this conversation with Phil about the House of the Dragon and why House of the Dragon isn't successful. And my opinion, to see if you guys agree with me, is that they are trying too hard to be Game of Thrones oriented. Like, and my example is this. If you look at the best spin-off shows, let's say Frasier. Oh yeah. Frasier is Frasier. You didn't see them say, hey, we're gonna have a guy coming here in a radio station. Every time he come in, they're gonna scream his name. That's
a good point. Yeah.
Its own show.
Yep.
The Jeffersons, you would never know it had anything to do with Archie Bunker.
Never.
That's right.
Never.
Its own show. And that's what made them successful. And then when you brought in Sam once in a while, and you brought in Lilith, and that's what made it extra special.
Yep,
right.
And I think that House of the Dragon relies too much on trying to make you think of Game of Thrones, giving them the same hairstyle, same armor, 300 years in advance.
Right.
Trying to make you think of it too much instead of being its own entity. And I think when you're a sequel that works, that's what you have to be. You have to be your own entity 100%. And I think that's the problem with House of the Dragon and why it's not as successful.
But do you like it?
I like the first season, and I obviously I'm a fan of the books. This is where we broke our bones, right? So obviously I'm not gonna say I don't like it, but I just wish it could do better, and I know how it could do better if it just was its own show. And I hope Duncan Egg.
I told James I'm looking forward to that more than anything. Those are some of the best stories, and I need to go back and reread because I'm forgetting so much. But that's going to be short-lived too. We got 3 seasons, maybe.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be writing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right. We won't even talk about that. That ain't gonna happen.
He's supposed to. I'm hoping it gets, but to me, it's like Dunkin' Egg is like kung fu, right?
Yeah.
You go town to town, you solve it like the A-Team. You go to a town, you solve a problem.
That's right.
Town,
that's what I mean, and that's what I was saying about House of the Dragon. Me and James, and we were talking about on here was it's more isolated, right? So you got Game of Thrones. You had so many other things to think about, and you're right. All right, what happens when we go back to Winterfell? What happens when we go back to Dany over in Essos or whatever? This is more localized, and so you can only focus on these two families, really, right? So you don't have as much diversity in storytelling and all that stuff. It's one kind of a plot, one major house focused, and so that's what waters it down a bit too, I think.
Well, and I wonder,
but it's still great to me. But I know what you're saying.
I do like it, and I do wonder if I give it too much leeway because I love the Game of Thrones. I don't know. I don't know if I never seen that or been in so into that show the way you got me into it,
right?
And I just watched House of Dragons as a standalone show. I don't know that I would have gotten into it as much.
And now here comes, apparently if they're going to actually do it, I believe they are the conquest, right? Mm-hmm. You can't fuck up Aegon, right? Yeah. You can't fuck up Visenya, and you can't because you've heard so much for so many years about it. It's referenced in every show now, and so they gotta hit the nail on the head with that one.
They do, and the thing how you fuck it up is if you give Aegon the same hairstyle that these dudes got.
Yes, indeed.
You got Raymond's got the same braid as Dany because you're so much trying to invoke Dany.
Yes,
because people change their hairstyles. My aunts ain't got the same hairstyle.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. For the last 300 years, you got the same braid. You could figure out something,
That's right.
You can't have the Starks having the same exact armor as these dudes got. It's the same armor. Come on, give them something different. Make it a difference. Make it your own. Just and then have little tidbits here and there about like Frasier. You had Sam come on in season 3, something like that. Little tidbit, but it has to stand on its own. Better.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like you're talking about connecting it. I'm surprised we have not seen Melisandre just because they can.
Yeah.
Or something like that, because she's alive apparently at this time.
Go ahead with that Better Call Saul point.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Saul is you can watch that without even seeing Breaking Bad.
Amen.
You can watch it 100%, and it's a great show without.
I love it.
Breaking Bad to be, it's better than Breaking Bad to me. But then in the last few seasons, you bring in a couple of characters.
Yeah, and it makes it really cool to see them come on. But yes, I literally just finished watching Better Call Saul maybe a month ago. I love that show, and I went into it. I did not have high hopes because I like Breaking Bad so much. Mm-hmm. Better Call Saul is awesome, man. I fucking love that character.
Yeah, and Signal's got a good point too. We talked about this before as well. The way Fire and Blood is written, it's not a novel, right? So they do have to fill in some gaps, and that's one of the exciting things for me about it, though, is because we're reading these perspectives in the book, right? You got 3 perspectives. They're kind of going with what actually happened, and so you're guessing: is it Mushroom? Is it the Maester? So they're kind of giving us, what actually happened on the screen. And again, now we got apparently a falling out with George R.R. Martin and Ryan Condal. So you know what's going on with that. So
I mean, I hear what he's saying, and they do have to fill in gaps, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is aesthetically, right?
Yeah.
They really make you want. They do everything in that show to let you know it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
right?
They do.
You could have changed the sigil up to George R.R. Martin's original sigils. Right?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, the older versions. Yeah,
but the older version of it before it got changed, you could have did things like that to separate.
I agree. Yep.
And they chose not to. They chose to make everything just about verbatim. That they're trying to get that nostalgia instead of just being its own show. And I think that's the problem with, and that's why it's not as successful as Game of Thrones. It's a better story than Game of Thrones. This story right here is an actual better story than the story of Game of Thrones if you look at it in a nutshell. I mean, Game of Thrones is more expansive and everything with all the characters, but you're not going to get all that in the television show. But this little battle and stuff between the Dance of the Dragons is a better one-take story than the whole story of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. More condensed.
Yeah, it's more condensed and everything else and all that. Because you're not listen. Game of Thrones was just too. It was too much to put on screen. It could have been done, but the problem was that the showrunners they got that show where it was on HBO where the Confederate won the war. It was reversed.
Yeah. That we're going to do the alternate history. Confederacy won the war.
To rush to that and rush to Star Wars. They had the Star Wars deal too.
Yeah.
So we wanted to rush and do that and get rid of Game of Thrones and just say, all right, I'm done doing this. I want to go do these 2 new things.
Yeah.
And they rushed through everything and just fucked up everything. Man.
But at the same time, I always mention this too: is Dan and Dave certainly did that, but George R. R. Martin gave him that stuff, and people, I don't know why people still deny that. So he said himself. And I think that's why he's not writing, because he gave him this stuff and he saw the reaction. He said to Anderson Cooper in that interview I played 1,000,000 videos, is like, I don't think my ending's going to be that different from theirs because of those conversations. And people still want to say, nah, well, yes, of course it's going to be different with the other characters. We hadn't seen Dorne really. Dorne was not even a thing in Game of Thrones. Of course you're going to see Stannis do a little something different. But the major beats are there, and that is the ending. I'm sorry. And I just don't like it.
Yeah, I told people straight up, listen, you don't pay someone that much money and then they change the ending.
You can't. That's right. That's right. You bought that story. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I gotta jump in real quick. I think Randy Suematsu nailed it. He said The Dark Knight. That really might be the best sequel of all time.
Spider-Man 2, Dark Knight. That's yes.
And Batman, the original Batman was great, but Dark Knight is just
I think I've watched that more than any.
Me too. That was the first. That was the first movie. Fucking Blu-ray I bought.
Me too.
And I couldn't believe, like, good God, look at that scene.
The first one I bought was I bought the Usual Suspects.
Oh, really?
Gotcha.
That's a great movie.
Yes.
That was the first one I bought was The Usual Suspects.
Let me ask you.
Well, I will say Signal really quick. Now they were asking for 10+ seasons, but they to their credit, just to be fair, they did say early on they did not want to do. They were going to do 7. They agreed to do 8. So they did say that early on, but they were supposed to be following books too, right? They were supposed to have the books finished. So,
but they were petty. Like they were petty. And I could give you examples of it real quick. Number 1, they had the guy pissing the hound pissing the river where Lady Stoneheart was.
Yes, right? Exactly.
They did that.
I told him that same thing.
That was petty. They did that.
They did that on purpose.
They said that straight up. They made the character Jon Snow have a little dick.
They did.
Too popular.
Wow! I did not know that.
He was too hot and gorgeous, so they literally made it canon. I'm air quoting there.
I did not realize that.
They had a small pecker. Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's how petty those fuckers are. If you look at that, you can see
that's funny.
Exactly. So we know what Yeager was. He had to use that southern tongue because he could.
I've seen your pecker.
That's right. He said that, right?
Yeah, I know you're not a god.
Yeah.
Torrin, one of the best characters beside the Hound. Yeah, I'll tell you what, there'll never be nothing like it. And you know it as a YouTuber. We went through all this stuff, and you were the OG here before me. But when that shit died. I mean, it killed everything.
And like, people still make videos and they get a lot of views on it, but it's like to me, and people ask me to do videos.
Same here.
I have 500 videos. I have covered everything, and then people are like, "Well, do them again." I'm like, I don't want to. It's not, So if I see people doing videos of doing the shit I did fucking 5-6 years ago, and if not longer, 8 years ago, and it's like I've already covered it. I don't want to cover it again. It doesn't interest me to cover it, do it over, and I already.
That's right.
So I just can't do it. I just can't do the money grab and just go for that. It's just not. I'm not into that.
No, that's what I said.
It's funny to hear you say that because I hear Chris say it a lot.
Me,
same
exact thing.
Very same thing.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just over. It's just you got to let it die.
He also says he's kind of like gun shy about getting attached to another show the way he got attached to that one.
Of course. But then, like Tony said, Tony's been through this. I've seen my shit and some of our shit when we got together and you started learning about it. Ripped off on fucking Reddit, man, or on a video, and I'm like, I just made that video, and they just rework. I mean, dude, we had the whole end game thing, and we're never going to get the books. I still think that the God's eye and things are important, but you're never going to see that now. And then I saw my whole thing on that on Reddit, and there's no way to prove. I mean, you can go back and look at my timestamps, but they just took it, and they ran with it, and that's the one, and that's the article that made all the big magazines.
Yeah.
Like what?
They stole my stuff, and I remember people coming on my channel saying,
"Yeah,
they were gonna kill it," and they weren't going to tell their friends about it because they wanted to look like they were smart and they knew everything.
Yep.
Like, put it right
Man.
Yep.
And just steal it straight up and just have everything just done and all this other stuff. And that's because the difference between them and us, like some people can write really well and some people could put things out, but that's different than creating something, right?
Yep.
And the era we came out, there was no A Song of Ice and Fire where you can just put a line and it brings you up every line from the book.
Yes,
we literally have to go through every book, highlight this, go through this book, highlight that, and read the whole books out.
You had a set of books that you could write in and highlight, and then you had another set you don't want to touch. Exactly.
Yeah. We were doing that. It's just like when I think about like when I was rapping back in the day, I was recording on a 1.5-inch reel. You know what I mean? You had to have good ears back then. You had to chop stuff up. Now everything's digital. You don't have to have ears. It just does it for you. But when you had a 1.5-inch reel, and that shit was expensive. When the reel was up, the reel was up. You had to
that's right.
You know, it was a different form of recording, a different form.
My dad had all that stuff, man. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, I got to ask you, we were downstairs before we came on. What are your thoughts on, are you excited for the new Superman and the new Fantastic Four?
I am. I want to see some Fantastic Four done right.
Yeah,
right. I'm dying to see that done right. Superman, the thing I didn't like about the trailers, he's got his ass kicked too much.
See,
exactly what he said.
Just said that
he said, "Why they keep showing him getting beat up and bleeding?"
I don't like to see.
This is what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that they rush it like they did with the DCEU with too many characters already. Let's have a Superman movie. We don't have to have 15 characters and Lex Luthor already discovering kryptonite, because that's the only way you can fuck him up. So now they're already got too much. I mean, I'm still optimistic about it because it looks great. But with those type of things worry me that they're going to rush this, and and again, we're probably seeing a minute and a half of the whole movie with these trailers. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, we just had
Tony, please come back.
Yeah, no shit, man. We didn't, and now look, our camera's all dark now. I got to change the thing. Are we on? Hold on, we on YouTube?
That's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah. So, okay, I think we're on the same one. We're good. Okay, we're good.
Everybody here?
All right.
Wow.
All right. We're looking dark here. We had a blue screen of death. We've never actually had that happen, but luckily we recovered really fast. So hopefully we're back in the same stream. Tony, sorry about that. If you're out there, it literally just crashed. Let me lighten us up a little bit. We're way dark. There we go. Something like that. There we go. That's close enough. Are we good?
You guys see us?
Okay, we got the same chat.
Yeah, that's cool.
So something we heard a buzzing, and then boom, it was gone. We had the blue screen of death, so we automatically rebooted. Oh shit, Zara just got the notification. Okay, so we're live on YouTube, right? We're good? You see us back on our same stream?
I think so.
I think we are. I think we got it just in time.
Yep.
Okay, sweet. All right, so I don't know what the hell that was. Tony, you can rejoin if you want, dude.
Please.
I don't have no idea what happened. Okay, we're good now. Stream quality good. Yeah, we never had an issue, so that was just our zzz, and then it was just like it was like fucking what the hell. All right, well, we're good.
Thank God you're here, Chris. I would have had no idea what
yeah, no shit. Okay, well, everybody's still kind of there. Okay, good. Sweet. Look, we got a popper from Windows. Thank you for your loyalty. Stay protected. Windows 10 supports. we recommend exploring Windows 11. What the fuck was that?
That was wild.
Yeah, I just Tony was just overloading it there.
He was. Damn, Tony. He's like powder.
Yeah. That's a great movie. I'm glad you said that. I used to love Powder.
I did too, man.
I've watched that several times. They never They should have followed up with that with a sequel.
Till Landon, we need to watch that.
Yeah, that's a good movie to go back and watch. Anyway, so yeah, Tony, if you're in there still, if you want to hop back on, feel free to real quick before James got to get out of here and go to bed. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a bzzz, and it was gone, and we had a blue screen of death, and luckily it came up really good, really quick. If not, Tony, thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate it. We'll set that up and do something.
Always good to have Cosby stop by.
Oh yeah, and we'll start calling him Bill. You got Bill. With the Jello pudding pops, Frozen, Frozen a sequel.
Iranian cyber attack.
All right, well, it could have been, yeah. Maybe the Iranian hackers are out. Okay, well, we're good for at least a few more minutes before you got to get out of here anyway. So maybe that was weird timing.
Hope Tony's okay. Maybe he got struck by lightning.
Yeah, maybe it ran through the interwebs. Yeah. Anyway, Tony, if you're in the chat, just let us know at least you're there. But yeah, sorry about that, man. We never had a stream. We've had a couple little like issues with the streaming software,
right?
But never had the full blue. I've never had a full blue screen of death on this gaming PC that I've had for a couple of years. I mean, it's not even that old. So I guess it was a random. Maybe just needed to burp. All right. We're good, though. We're good now.
One quick question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you remember a moment in the Metallica concert where maybe they started a song and you were the most hype? Like
100% Master of Puppets. The last two.
I can see that.
Well, first of all, Fuel, because they started just nice and like a regular old kind of melodic little slow, jam. I didn't even recognize it, but then he was all that, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that, and then that's the first time the pyro kicked in.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That was an awesome spot, and then I knew they were going to at least play Puppets or Sandman because they had been doing one or the other, but they did play both in like a couple cities. I was like, please tell me they're going to play the same set list as I think it was.
Did they play both?
They played both.
Oh, man. I bet when Sandman started, that was
Puppets.
Awesome.
I knew because I was kind of following the other set list from the others. I think it was Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. So you could see.
I could see like I think's coming because they changed it up a little bit. But I'm like, okay, they're going to play Puppets here next in a few minutes. And then I bet you what they'll do is like, thank you, Charlotte, and whatever. And then they'll pretend they're done, and then Sandman will kick in.
And is that what happened?
And that's exactly what happened.
I bet the roof.
Literally, dude. It was like I mean, it was not like a small little bump. I mean, it was like this up there, and that was freaking me out.
Wild.
Actually, it was high. We were high, and I've been to a bunch of nosebleed games, but that was you don't have that kind of synchronized rocking where like everybody's whatever they're doing, and the whole place is literally like this. And and I had just watched Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
I told you.
You're picturing down at the bottom a little crack starting.
Yes. I'm picturing screws wiggling out.
Yes.
Oh, my God. So, but Master of Puppets.
Learned how to read.
When I started guitar, James knows I started playing Metallica because that's what made me want to learn. And I still suck. And I'm still trying after 5-6 years now, whatever it's been. But I've learned, and I've always liked Puppets, but I've absolutely loved to adore the song and its intricacies and not only just speed, but intricacies and how they fucking, the transitions. It's just insane that 20-year-old kids wrote that shit.
That is a trip
in a garage
to think about.
So playing that is like the ultimate pinnacle of guitar. So that and then Sandman is just kind of is what really blew him up to like pop, culture.
Amanda,
from a metal band. Yeah,
same. I love that too. We had rock band and we would play drums and guitar.
We did
and shit,
Guitar Hero.
Sing. That was so fun.
Rock band. That's how before I played poker. I was gonna tell Tony when we were talking about that too. I told you that other week we were on here. We were talking about the 80s and we didn't care about racism and race and all that shit. And Tony said he liked Metallica. And that's one of my favorite things is seeing black dudes on YouTube react to Metallica and start fucking. They get that meme.
Oh yeah,
because it just
Doc turned me on to some of those.
Yes, reactions. And I No Life Shack, I told you, was my favorite guy. The first one. Now, he's huge now, but yeah, because it's universal. Is what I was going to say. And when Tony mentioned that, so it doesn't matter when you start. Because I understand, I completely understand if you're a hip hop head, right, and you hear metal in the background, you're like, this is noise. But when you start listening, everybody does the same thing. I don't give a fuck where you're from, care what color your skin is. You start getting that mean face, right? You start at least head bobbing, and then when you start feeling that heavy, everybody starts. It's the same thing. It's universal. So that's gorgeous to me as far as music goes. And it was cool. It was cool to see young kids there. I was literally walking through to the seats. Yeah. Yes, Freebird. He did Freebird. What is that?
Mazuma.
Oh, my.
What about real life puppetry? I am amazed at marionettes, how good people some people are.
But yeah, I had a dude literally turn around. We were walking through the crowd to the seats before we had to climb, right? We had to climb up, go up the levels, and then you got and climb fucking steep. But he turned around. He's like, "Where'd all these young people come from?" I was like, "I know, right? There was kids there."
That's.
I mean,
cool.
And if people don't know, Master of Puppets is the only metal song to ever be inducted into the Library of Congress preservation thing, whatever that is. That's cool. And that's what they say when you watch the interviews. It still surprises them to see these young people in the front row knowing the words of that song they wrote in 1982. It's crazy, or 83, I guess. When Puppets came out in 4, but
it was pretty wild.
It's pretty crazy. But yeah. Anyway, but we crashed, we came back, and now we got to go.
Yep. The witching hour is upon us.
Yeah, and you got to go. You got to go in the field tomorrow.
A little bit. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm nervous. I imagine I'm going in the field.
Right. Anyway, so, fun fact: Chris is a ventriloquist and does James' voice in real life. James, I do. I'm doing both. That's why I'm doing this. I'm covering my mouth over here. What Ho is still in the chat there. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure the sequel to Virgin Sex was better. What?
Yes.
Oh, what the fuck? Ho?
Yes. I think my second time was better than my first time.
I don't know if I can say that or not. I don't know. But yeah, I guess for most people, at least you kind of know what's going on. Anyway, so we went all over the place, this podcast for sure. We labeled it like Jaws and birthdays and sharks, and we ended up talking about race relations and music and sequels and movies. And
shitting in buckets.
Shitting in buckets, that's right. Everybody's got a shit story. So anyway.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's always fun, man.
Yeah, we like the lives.
I apologize. We've been a little quiet lately, but honest to God, everything changed at work. I've been stuck out in the field working 12 to 16 hours in the heat. I know it's hard to see, but I've lost 20 pounds on the nose.
I can tell you. You can?
You
yeah,
tell?
Absolutely.
Dude, my clothes fit different, and I've been exhausted. And Chris had to send out a APB looking for me.
I know I did.
And I apologize, but it's always awesome to get back.
Now he's saying that. What I've done is I told him I slightly lowered the fat filter. I just turned it down a couple notches.
Thank you.
Just to get him to get him back, because he was feeling bad about himself, and I wanted to get him back on here. So
I appreciate it.
I told him I'd turn that down.
Looks like you gave me a little tan too.
I did.
Thank you.
I got that cranked up too. Oh shit. Yeah, James, he is looking good. He thinks he's y'all got to tell him. He thinks he's this old dying man. I'm still going out in creeks and digging, dude. I've gotten in shape. I'm not breathing heavy and hiking no more. I'm out in the
cool.
creeks digging with up to my waist in a fucking hole of water in a creek.
Dude,
yeah, man. Yeah.
I come home every night and I put ice on my knees. I have this trick. I have freezer bags that I put ice water in.
Yeah.
And then I have you know how you can buy a bag of ice at the store?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a little bit left in one of those that I won't use. So I put that in my freezer, and then I sit 2 ice water bags on top of that so they fold over it.
Right, make a shape.
To it
make a molded
like
shape.
my knee.
Nice.
And then I sit there. Hey, feel free to use that trick, guys.
Life hack. Life hack for old
It's
people.
right on your knee, and it works really good. And I fall asleep, and I wake up with water bags laying beside me because they've melted.
And they're all sloshing down.
But damn it,
Ooh,
man.
look at there,
works.
James. You're getting hit on in the chat.
Damn. Thank you so much.
You look so damn hot, James.
By gosh.
What
am I going to do with
cheeks are going to
myself?
turn rosy red.
Yes.
If you ever put lotion in a basket. Jesus. Mazuma's back 100%. Anyway.
Oh, God.
But yeah, well, at least we recovered from that little glitch there in the Matrix. Not sure what happened. Sorry, Tony. Hopefully he sees that we crashed and we didn't just kick him off or something. But yeah, no, me and Tony were talking before we get out of here. We were talking, we were chatting last couple months, and then we both got busy and work and all that shit too. But we were talking about doing some kind of like podcast like that.
That's awesome.
We can openly talk about, common sense shit instead of this media driven bullshit narrative.
That would be killer.
Because I mean, I think it'd be a good thing.
Dude, he's so easy to talk to.
I mean,
every time we've met him.
He's our age. He's got experience. His family has roots down here, so he understands the South a little bit. I'm assuming. I'm not sure how much he's been down here, but he grew up also in Queens, so he's got that perspective. He's got his own life experience, so we got ours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of it'd be a good come together. Like we just kind of started there, just chatting about. It boils down to it. We all have the same loves, hopes, dreams, fears, whatever. And then we all watch the world go backwards, regardless of your politics, but it seems to be that way. But is it? That's the question. So maybe we'll do that. Put that together.
Would absolutely love it. And it'd be one of the ones where if I knew it was happening, I would go old school and have a list of.
Oh, yeah. We
I
could
would
do an
wanna
80s
bring up.
podcast too, and not just, it don't have to be all like, political, whatever stuff.
Yeah.
But just in general. But yeah, that's just the way it was. And I always mention that, but it's like I can't speak for up north or out west, but I can speak for here. And small towns just didn't care.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's no.
There it is officially.
What?
OKC NBA champs.
Wow.
Been a while. Not that I follow the NBA, but I think the last time was when KD was there, right? Didn't he win one there?
I think so.
And then he went to the Warriors. Anyway.
Yep. Then he went there. I don't know if he won one there. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't. Now I'm starting to question myself on that. Now that I think back. Anyway,
it's hard because LeBron's been in every damn finals. It seems like.
I know.
So you got to go. Well, did they play?
Yeah, right, but he didn't win. But 4 out of 9 he was.
Hey, amazing though that he was in that many in a row.
Oh yeah. It's insane. But anyway, I guess we'll get out of here so James can go to work and do his thing. He's going to be out in the damn 95-degree heat.
Yes.
I don't feel for you. I do feel for you.
I'm
not saying I don't.
Tell you a funny story real quick.
Excuse me.
First off, on Wednesday, somehow I was outside working and I got into some chiggers.
Oh, yeah.
Woke up Thursday morning with these red itchy bumps on my ankles and up my legs. Holy shit, I had to get this stuff called Chigger X. And hold on, I think I might have it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because there's a guy up there in Uwharrie, right? And this dude has been living in this campsite for like 2 months. Oh, they do actually make that. I thought you were joking about the name. For Chigger Chick and all bug bites. Yeah.
And so that sucked. Well, then, yeah, guys, Chigger X. That's pretty funny. It's like a thick calamine lotion is what it looks like.
Yeah, if
like
you're in the South, you know what those are.
And so then yesterday, I was out working in my yard, and I have these. I don't think it's kudzu, but it is some invasive species of vine that grows across my ground coming towards my house.
Yeah.
Is it
kudzu? Yep.
I was wrapping my hammer around it so I could get a good grip and trying to yank them. Well, I had one going under my building, so now I'm turned around towards my back is towards the woods, and I'm pulling this vine. It snapped,
and
I fell flat in a briar bush.
Oh, damn.
Man, I jumped up, looked to make sure nobody at the church saw me because they had a gathering over there.
Right.
Thank goodness they didn't.
Yeah. It's funny you said it because there's a guy I've kind of got to know this dude he's been living at this campsite in a pop-up trailer that's broken down for about 2 months.
Really?
Super nice dude. But every time he's like, come on through, because he's a shortcut through his camp to this creek. And super nice guy. I mean, you could tell he's living in the woods, dude. He's living in Uori. He's super nice, but he'll offer you like, hey, I cooked up a chicken. You want some? Like,
wow.
No thinking. And every once in a while, he'll like, hey, you mind if I get a cigarette or something? That's all he ever asked. He's never asked for money or nothing, but he just said the other day, you've been getting them chiggers are out now. I'm like, nah, I hadn't got any chiggers yet, but I've got, usually bugs don't mess with me much, but the last couple days they have been, like mosquitoes and stuff. But yeah, he asked that, but I haven't seen any yet. So
yeah, remember how I used to get eaten up by mosquitoes and you wouldn't?
Yeah, it's the same way, but now, like the whole camping trip for 3 nights, everybody was getting bit but me. And Dustin didn't get it. He knows he's got this, I guess it's a blood type.
Something. It is something about it.
Yeah, it's a blood type, and I don't even know what mine is. I don't remember.
How the fuck do they know it?
I don't know.
It's shark can smell a drop of blood.
That's right.
10 miles.
10 miles away.
Okay.
It's pheromones, I guess. But anyway, so I don't get them. But then the last night, all of a sudden, I started getting a couple. I got a big one on my hip, like through my clothes. Jan got tore up on her back.
It's the worst.
Through a chair and her shirt because she had a mesh in the back of her chairs.
How in the hell do they do that? Go through your clothes, man.
And then them little nose stems
They're
where you
so
don't even
fragile because you can crush a mosquito so easy.
It's a needle, I guess. The needle,
something?
Yep. That's crazy. But how do they know? Body chemistry changed to 50.
That's right. He used to not get attacked by mosquitoes.
Maybe that's what it is. It just happened like that. But all right, we'll get out of here. James got to go. But again, thanks for everybody. Diane that joined. I know Rod was going to join. Sorry, Rod. We were going to jump in there too. But we'll be back next week. And Tony, again, thanks for joining us as well.
And happy birthday one last time.
Thank you, man.
This was a big one.
It was.
I drug my tired ass over here to harass you that day.
He did.
He didn't answer the door.
I was taking a damn nap. And then they texted me from the door with a screenshot. I mean, a selfie. And then I said, hey, turn around. I'm here. I was just waking up because I heard Riddick barking. But
it's a big one, man. And
it is.
I hope you make it 50 more. I hope we're both.
Hopefully so,
I'm
man.
102 and you're 100.
You know, you always get that little, don't matter how logical thinking or whatever, you always get that little thing, am I going to make it through the night? You know, you get that little thing, like, I don't know. But anyway, we'll get out of here. And yeah, we'll be back next week, I'm assuming, unless something happens. We'll figure something out. And whether we go live or record one, we'll figure it out either way. And let you know. I'll schedule it if we do. But thank you guys. Thanks for watching. And hold on. Before I do that, let me make this cool. Hold on. Since everything crashed, I can't see over my microphone here. Let's put them on some good music while they disappear here. All right. There we go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you. There you go. Go ahead.
Next time.
Peace.